All right, I started recording.
Excellent. We we pull quietly out of the driveway in Carl's car, which makes almost no noise, which makes almost no sound since it's a hybrid.
That's fancy for 2015.
Yeah. Leo's driving, of course. Carl's still woozy, and Leo actually had to help him walk around to find the keys. I sit in the back between Carl and TJ, while Kudzu sits in the passenger seat next to Leo. I overhear Leo mumbling to Kudzu to sit next to him while I help Carl into the car.
Yeah, because the two
Something.
masculine guys have to be the ones up front.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Something about them needing to be able to get out of the car quickly with their guns if things went down.
And now we know why. They're pretty sure things are going to go down very badly.
Yeah,
Leo
some are going to
doesn't.
run into something that can't be shot. I mean, that won't happen.
Yeah, that's not
Oh, yeah,
even
never.
possible. That's like some kind of like fantasy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's not possible. This is only a horror.
Yeah.
We just saw the true horror, right? Right? Totally.
Mhm.
Leo doesn't
Yeah,
floor it.
Leo's freezer, where it's full of nothing but terrible TV dinners.
Yeah, that's the worst
The
part.
most horrifying thing imaginable.
Oh no,
Getting-
it's banquet! Ah!
Getting strapped to a St. Andrew's cross, getting kidnapped by some crazy bear. Who cares?
And I'm pretty sure
TV dinners.
Yeah. Getting kidnapped by a crazy evil bear. Just another day in Echo.
Serial killer
Oh,
and rapist bear, yeah. But you don't get a metal fork for your TV dinner.
That's right. You
The
gotta have
worst.
nasty
Oh man, that's the worst. And it's not even a fork. It's a plastic spork. I mean, that's the
plastic
worst.
sport.
See, I miss those. Like, I'd always get them at Taco Bell, and like they'd be so handy. But no, they just decided no, it's either fork or spoon. No in betweensies.
Leo doesn't floor it like I expect him to, but we move down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedily enough. I see TJ look out of his window intently, and I can only imagine it to see if he can spot Jenna, maybe even Flynn.
Dude, like, I don't feel good.
Carl mumbles next to me, both hands on his stomach, twisting at the fabric of his hoodie.
Just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop. Or, since we established that he had a window seat, just roll down the window, but that's too much thinking.
Yeah, you could just do that. It's like he's not in the middle. Not like he's in the middle.
But like
Which
his horn
probably
could
should
get
have
caught on
been so
something.
that they could both hug him, yeah.
I mean, just imagine if, like a tree branch got stuck on his horn or something.
And
Carl's there 1 second, next second his head is behind the car somewhere.
if he does end up throwing up, spoilers, he does, and he's in the middle, he could just vomit right in the middle, and just like it would just roll over onto both sides into like the footwells for everyone, so they don't have to just splashing around.
No, he just needs to vomit all over the floor.
Especially because
and-
they don't have shoes in this universe.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. It'd be all over their feet.
he needs to vomit on the ground, in the back and the front, and then when the car flips, I don't know if it does, the vomit just goes everywhere inside of it. Everything is just plastered in puke.
I think he just needs a projectile vomit onto the windshield, just past the Leo and Kudzu.
He just
Just to
needs
make
to
sure they
exorcist.
crash.
He just needs to exorcist over everyone.
And the funny thing is, like as soon as the vomit hits the windshield on the inside, Leo turns on the windshield wipers, expecting it to work.
Well,
Carl-
Carl was possessed that night, so, him doing the full exorcist move wouldn't be out of line.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning. That gets TJ's attention, and he starts rubbing the ram's back slowly.
That worked in Pokemon, so I don't see why it wouldn't work here. Remember the
Right, TJ?
the U.S. Saint Anne, I think it was. The captain's all seasick. You rub his back. Ding, 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 ding.
I mean, it worked really great. I mean, like, I mean, TJ's just using what he learned in the Bible. Some guy was like sick, and then Jesus walked over and rubbed his back, and the guy was suddenly cured of all ailments, right?
Something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
Carl's leprosy just cleared up right now
Yeah.
too. So I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I forget which one of them spit in the sand, spit in the dirt, and then rubbed the mud in someone's eye, but it made the blind man see again.
Yeah, you know.
good thing there's like nothing in me. So what the hell is going on? Where's Jenna? I'm not going to ask about my secret boyfriend Flynn because we're secret.
TJ frowns.
We don't know. I mean, we could look for them, but you know, Leo's just gone crazy.
I'm not crazy.
But
My mom had me tested.
yeah, but that was just to see if you were neurodivergent.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
What happened then?
I take a deep breath, trying to figure out how to explain.
Well, we're not sure what's going on everywhere. But Saturday night, when I was at the diner with Leo, confronting him about him keeping me from all of you, just so everyone knows. Oh, right, he wouldn't say that because that would actually be a smart thing to do.
I go through my story as quickly as I can, explaining to Carl what's been going on. The rest of the car is quiet, so I get anxious when I get to the part about Brian and skip over it as much as I can. I only mention that he held me there for a day. By the time I finish, we're already passing the lake.
Huh? So is it like Sunday already? Sunday morning? Because I have to go to church, y'all. Yeah, I guess so. So I was out like a whole fucking day? Like sleeping at night? That's not me.
I don't say anything in response.
What happened to you, Teej? Are you okay?
Carl turns his
Again,
gaze.
without my weed, I get very inquisitive.
Carl turns
I am
his
Detective
gaze.
Carl.
Carl turns his gaze onto TJ, who just nods.
Yeah, I was seeing things too. You know, invisible things chasing me. Sometimes they turn into Jana. But don't try to think about, you know, the psychology of that. But I'm okay now, though.
TJ actually does seem pretty stable now after everything that's happened. Maybe taking care of Carl is taking his mind off of whatever happened to him. Either way, he doesn't expand on what he saw.
Yeah,
Carl
just a rotating cycle of whoever's the sickest or most vulnerable, then, you know, heals everyone else. Like a lightning rod of just, you know, bad feelings. So right now, Carl's got it.
Carl shivers and puts his head back down while TJ continues to rub his back. After a few minutes of silence go by before Carl speaks up again.
That kind of feels nice. Reminds me of my mom. TJ, you're now my mom. Put on a dress.
Maternal TJ.
I mean, TJ would probably just do it and be like, okay, fine.
If it helps you, Carl. Yeah, actually, my mom did it too. Thought it might help. Because, you know, basic touch is just such a foreign concept that we have to be specially trained in it in sports medicine.
I mean, I assume that, like, TJ was probably sent to, like, some sort of, like, what are those torture camps called? Where they send like,
Conversion
horrific,
camps.
yeah, like, horrific parents who are just vile
Oh,
and
yeah.
should not be parents and their kids, conversion camps, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Like-
good God.
She's like, I'm gonna pay someone to torture my children. Good job, you just screwed up your kid for the rest of their life.
Because that'll
gonna-
make them straight. Well, yeah, they made a movie a while ago called But I'm a Cheerleader. It was all about one of those camps.
There was a guy that I knew in an area where I lived previously. He was a very thin guy. He was part of our group. That was part of, and he had been sent to one of those camps as a youth, and so he was almost 30 now. And the guy who sort of led the group, I guess, that I was part of, I remember him telling us when that guy had come to where I lived, and basically he was just like, that guy as he is not going to last for like, that guy's not going to reach old age, basically, is what his description was, unless something changed. So they sort of like took him in and brought him out of his shell where he could actually touch people again and like be a person. So yeah, conversion camps are awful. They mess up people for their entire lives. You really need therapy after that. It's horrific and awful.
Yeah, you need good therapy after that.
Yeah, and yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucking awful.
yeah. I fully believe that if a parent sends their kid there, they should have all their kids taken from them and given to someone else, because they're just awful and terrible, and they should be put in prison for that shit. It's
Yeah.
inexcusable.
They should be thrown in prison and then be.
And sadly, it's probably going to be on the rise.
Yeah, probably.
And the current, the way things are going.
Oh yeah, with our current, with how things are going now, yeah, I highly expect horrible things to happen. All right, Carl, are you
I
ready?
love you, just so you know. All you guys, I'm glad I'm not in that place anymore. I may not have weed, but I'll still talk like a stoner. TJ, just avert your eyes, and we're gonna have like a 4-way real quick, because I love you guys.
While Leo's driving.
Sober sex.
I love you too, Carl, and everyone else, especially Jesus.
It's a Christmas echo miracle.
You too, Raccoon Man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I affirm my own love for everyone. Kudzu glances back at us before turning his attention to his own window. Leo doesn't say anything from the front, his focus solely on the road ahead of him.
It doesn't even give like a I love all of you. It's just I only love Chase. The rest of you are tolerated.
And
He's
Kudzu's
like,
just
"I
like,
love you, Chula."
okay.
And everyone looks at each other.
I watched the desert whip by us, for the first time feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us. But of course, it doesn't last long. What's that? On the side of the road there.
All right, Kaiser, are you ready to show Finn the monster?
Is it here, or is it when they loop back that it shows up?
It's here,
Well, we'll see.
baby. It's here. Hmm.
Leo turns his head in the direction Kudzu points. We all do. What we see changes everything for me from that point on. Sure, things were crazy, and I had a hard time believing anything was happening, but it was explainable. People like Duke, Brian, TJ, even Carl were all seeing things, but it was kind of a distant thing, in a way. Something everyone else was experiencing. Something I was exempt from. But now, there it is. Something I can't explain right in front of me.
What is that?
Oh my god! Ollie
TJ.
Chillers!
TJ covers his mouth. Carl sits up straight, trying to see.
If only it
Yes.
was just like several interlocking rings, all of them just covered in eyes and like little feathery wings.
It's just rare from Fear and
Yeah,
Hunger.
just a biblically accurate angel.
Yeah.
Leo
If
slows down
only.
as we
Sorry.
Leo slows down as we pass. There's a car, all the windows shattered. And there's Duke, lying a dozen feet away from the open door on the driver's side. And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head
Okay.
comes up and sees all I see are 3 holes in blood. TJ screams next to me, and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat.
Okay, I do want to talk about this real quick, because some people confuse that thing with the Socket Man, and I see, like, the faces are similar, but the Socket Man can fit in, he's a person size. Whereas that thing's got, it's like, all 4 limbs are different size, it's towering over them, it's way bigger,
Yeah.
and so I think that they're
humongous.
separate entities.
It kind of looks like it could be, but we don't know anything. We don't really know much about the Socket Man. For all we know, it could be like,
Oh,
like
we know who he used to be.
we know
Maybe it can elongate and shorten
Yeah.
its limbs and body.
because I remember reading about Cthulhu, and Cthulhu could like change the size of itself. Like it could be like just pretty big, but then it could also go to like the size of a continent. So it's like, oh, it's humongous. It can change its shape. Cthulhu can change its shape whenever it wants. Maybe this creature right here is the Socket Man. It can just do the same thing. It can change the size of its limbs and stuff.
Now I'm just imagining that Cthulhu turns himself the size of like a sticker and like hides in somebody's back pocket. They end up taking him over to like New York or something, and he becomes the size of an Empire State Building. Everybody in New York goes insane and dies.
Or actually,
Yeah, but
It's
that's
like,
just
behold
Tuesday
me!
to them.
no, actually, there's just a Cthulhu action figure. There's only one in the world, and it's actually Cthulhu. And then they take it somewhere, and it possesses the person, like drop it in the water, and suddenly becomes the size of a fucking mountain. It's just like towering out of the water, going, "What's up? Thanks, boy!" But it's all echoing in everyone's ears. It's
You see
all telepathic.
Godzilla plays in a theater, and then when people get out, they just hear this, and then they like see something coming out of the ocean. They're like, "It's Godzilla!" And it's like, "No, it's Cthulhu!" Oh,
Yeah,
he slowly walks out.
Yeah, actually, there's like a Japanese person coming out of the Godzilla movie, and he points at the ocean. And goes, "It's Godzilla!" And then like American like looks closer, goes, "It's Cthulhu!"
I tried to look back, but whatever it is gone. At least, it's gone from where I was. Because I see something move next to my window, and I turn to face it, and it stares back at me, but only for a moment. That thing, whatever the fuck it is, disappears almost the instant I register that it's there. I'm only staring out into blackness of the desert. Still, 3 holes, 2 eyes, and a mouth blink back at me in a short sort of after image before that too vanishes.
What was that? What was that? Carl, did you summon demons again? We talked about that. The good Lord does not like it.
Remember, Carl, you watched that Fate series and then you suddenly got obsessed with making magic and like red turtlenecks and black skirts for some reason. Come on, Carl.
No, actually, what that is like it's like tendrils of smoke from Carl's joint, and one just turns him like, "Carl, stop smoking in the car."
Like, Carl! That kills me. Alright, TJ's grabbing my arm, claws digging painfully into my skin. I'm too shocked to even pull away as TJ leans forward next to me, staring out my window. At least I know I'm not the only one that saw it. TJ squeaks again when no one answers him.
What was it? Leo, did your love for Chase accidentally summon the portals of hell? Because, I'm for that. Our
Right.
love.
I've got it. It is all that Deus Ex that happens here. It finally summons Satan. I don't know. Some kind of animal, maybe?
I've never seen anything like that before. I, Chase, master zoologist, know all the kinds of animal in the Echoverse. Or Planet Echo.
Could have had a disease? Lost all its fur or something? Maybe do kill it.
Although I am sad, there's not going to be any more Duke voice for this route.
I think it's kind of funny when you look at that picture of the creature standing over Duke. Like, it just looks like his head exploded. There's just blood
You
squirting out.
probably did under that thing's foot.
Well, now I gotta go look. Jeez. I mean, yeah, it does look like. I mean, I see brain. So yeah.
Wait,
his
is that
head
actual freaking brains? Hold on, what?
I see what looks like brain above his head. So I mean, there's
Oh
a
yeah,
pretty damn big splatter mark there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Duke's head exploded.
yeah. His head probably exploded from that thing. Just like grip. Maybe stepping on him. I don't think it bit him and did that, but yeah, it looks like it stepped on him. Maybe it sat on with a gigantic ass.
I think it was TJ said, but it was walking.
Yeah.
TJ's arm is looped around mine, and I can feel his body shaking. I look over my shoulder through the back window. At this point, my car is a good distance away, only visible. At this point, my car is a good distance away, only visible because the headlights are on. A streak of light fading out across the desert.
Kaiser.
Charles? Just it?
Okay. Phone Kaiser here, everybody. Everyone's favorite former Kaiser.
Hi,
Where
Phone
at
Kaiser.
Duke is he? We are at
I'm sorry, where-
Duke. Is he?
But I was walking. She's on. Point good distance. Duke, is he? Bruh.
Some
No.
dry retching noises followed by heavy splattering sounds cuts me off. Carl is hunched over in his seat, head between his legs. It isn't hard to figure out what just happened, especially when the smell hits me.
Oh my gosh, Carl!
All that rubbing and TJ didn't
That's
help.
even more horrifying than the monster!
Carl!
Now, see, TJ, this is what happens when you rub people off. Stuff squirts.
Yeah, stuff comes out of their head. TJ looks torn between. TJ looks torn between blanching away and comforting the ram.
Yeah, just rub him just rub him some more, TJ. That'll help.
Oh yeah. I mean, Carl will start trying to get you away from him though. Be like, stop it! It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. I'm very sensitive right now.
I know!
Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again.
He does say something.
Much love.
He says,
Yeah. He says. Wait. No, he says.
yeah, he
A
stretches.
much louder retch, followed by a quieter plopping sound follows.
You know, considering
grimaced.
how much Carl does throw up, between the intro and the various routes, maybe he does need a lot of weed just to be able to keep food down.
Mm.
Trying to work through his nausea.
Oh, yeah. He does throw up in, like, his own route, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think TJ is at some point.
I grimace, feeling my own stomach roil.
All right, everyone, time to
Ugh.
vomit.
Kuzu's looking back at us, a paw up to his nose. You okay? Carl keeps his head down a while longer, his fingers twisting into the fabric of his shorts. TJ tentatively rubs his back.
I would have done it out the window. I didn't want to open any of the windows though, because monsters only get in if you invite them, right?
Yeah, you have to tell Dracula to enter. It's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
bro.
You only have to tell the monster chasing your car that it can come in.
Yeah, that, which obviously Duke said. So
Yeah. Duke was like, "I'll fist fight you."
I put so many bruises on Brian. I'll punch you too. It's
Yep.
okay, Leo. Are there any napkins up there? Because
Leo.
a couple napkins is all it takes to fix this.
Leo,
guys-
who's been silent up to now, remains silent.
Do you guys remember that story where there was I forget what state it was in. It was in some shithole Republican state, but there was the state that was just like, oh, furries crap in litter boxes in school or something like that. You guys remember that?
All the way up to the Joe Rogan
I
show.
vaguely remember that. I don't know which state it was in, but it was
Do you know-
really
A
stupid.
couple of times. There was waves of it.
Do you guys know why that teacher had kitty litter in her classroom?
I do.
I don't. Why?
Take a guess.
She had a furry in the class, and she wanted to...
I'm bringing it up because it is very relevant to what just happened in game.
Oh, whenever someone throws up, she just throws the litter on it, and it covers up
Yep.
the smell and makes it easy. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't cover up the smell, but the kitty litter just soaks up all the vomit, and then it's really easy to sweep it up and throw it away.
You know, actually, we used that when I worked at the hardware store. So, yeah, pretty much any liquid. Yeah, if there's liquid anywhere, you need to clean it up. Especially oil or gasoline, just throw kitty litter on it, sucks up, and you can just sweep it up real easy.
The Osh days.
Like, that was the entire reason that she had that stuff.
So they were
That's
probably...
right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people watching this. Republican politicians are liars. Don't let them deceive you at all, ever.
Well, the last version I heard of it is actually a school in the Columbine area somewhere, that part of Colorado. And it was part of their preparedness kits so that if, they had to be in like a lockdown situation for, like multiple hours because, shooters or whatever emergency, that then the kid have somewhere to, go to the restroom without moving. They'll have to like be in danger of moving. But like they re-edited it, so they took out like a little chunk in the middle, and then like all the right wingers just flipped out.
So it's basically doctored to incriminate furries.
Well, it's to show, to how crazy the schools are, which then they infer that clearly furries.
Yes, because when furries go, because clearly when animals go take a dump, they don't just do it on the ground.
Yeah.
And now I'm just imagining like someone walks into their fursuit, they have like a little zipper in the back, and they just take a dump in the back of the classroom on the floor or something.
Yeah, because dogs who make up a large percentage, I think. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Of the
Canids,
furry
I think, yeah.
canines. Yeah, canids make up a good portion of the furry fandom. I guess I have no idea, but yeah, because they bury their shit.
Yeah,
They're well
canines tend
known
to be
for-
pretty popular. Felines are, I think, right behind that.
Go kitties.
Yeah, well, it's not like you could ever train a dog to like go to the bathroom at an appropriate place. That's just undoable.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah, totally
completely-
impossible.
There is some truth.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever potty trained a dog.
Who's ever heard of canine potty training? That's just ridiculous.
Guys, I've got it. This is why teachers have newspapers in their classrooms. Oh. When
Do they
little
still?
Timmy needs to go pee.
And he's a furry. He wore, a little dog ear headband once. So clearly he's a furry. Forever. He's been forever tainted.
This is ridiculous. I like it.
It's also
All right. Leo, who's been silent up until now, remains silent. He's staring out the windshield. He's staring out the wind? Yeah, I guess it is windshield, yeah. He's staring out the windshield hard. Paws on the wheel in a death grip.
Yeah, so
After a moment,
went in and he's just like, I'm super serious. Gotta protect my chula.
I'd be
After a
super
moment of
serious after seeing
silence.
that shit too.
After a moment of silence, Kudzu checks the cup holders and drops the glove compartment. After rummaging around for a minute, he pulls out a stack of fast food style napkins. He hands them back to Carl, who starts mopping up whatever mess he made on himself. During all this, still glancing out the windows. Not head on, though, because I'm terrified I'm going to look straight into those eyes again. We drive in silence for the next 5 minutes, with no creature in sight, thankfully. but I don't know what to think right now. There's no way I saw that. There's no way what I saw was some animal like Kudzu implied.
Hey, that's just what happens when you don't feed your giraffe. They turn into that.
Oh yeah. I mean that happened. That happened to my neighbor's giraffe.
Yeah, because giraffes are like super common pets here in America.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, if you mess with their toys or us, the giraffe's coming after you.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't eat somebody's pet. It was horrible. You know that image of like, what is it, Cronus eating his children or something from Greek mythology? It was like that, but it was like that kid who always tries to bully the giraffe. It just had enough of him.
I know. Have you guys seen Tier Zoo? Because he did a whole episode about how OP giraffes actually are.
I think I saw something about that. The way it moved, the way it was crouched, and most of all, its face. I've never seen anything like it, at least anything that's not a Halloween costume. Maybe...
What Spirit Halloween would have that in stock?
I don't know, but I'm interested now. Maybe one of the locals dressed up in a costume or something?
It's one hell of a tall local.
Yeah, I know, right?
We could crush your car and murder Duke. All at once, just because, it's got a costume. It's a power suit, it gave him superpowers.
Mm-hmm. But then, how the fuck did it keep up with the car? We were going so fast? Were we going that fast? Leo did slow down a little. I keep these thoughts to myself. Everyone looks freaked out enough without any more speculation. So instead, I lean back in my seat, deciding to just close my eyes. We're on our way out, and soon I'll be safe in a police station or hospital or something. It'll be explained when the cops get there. The cops get here. I try not to think about Duke on the ground, Janice in the diner, Jenna out there somewhere with that thing. I shake my head. Eyes still closed. Bye, TJ.
Okay, you guys can hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay, switch back to computer. All right. Are you okay, Chase? Because, actually thinking, that's a new thing for you. I don't know how to react.
TJ's arm is still around mine. The places where our fur is pressed together is getting hot and sweaty. I don't mind, though, as long as it brings... I don't mind, though, as long as it brings him some comfort.
Yeah, I'm just tired. Being nearly raped, kidnapped,
Murdered.
running around with this arm bleeding that's still bleeding. We've never addressed that.
Yeah.
My boyfriend's going crazy. I got hit by a car. I might be a wee bit tired.
TJ, just squeeze my arm really hard and just see if you can get like a fountain, just a good squirt from my arm.
TJ, it's supposed to squirt out my face when that part of your body's not supposed to squirt on people. Actually, now that I mention it, I am pretty tired. Didn't exactly get much sleep in Kudzu's trailer, or Brian's. I start to drift off as my head bumps gently against the headrest, the soft whir of the AC on my forehead.
What the fuck?
The car lurches as Leo slows us down again. Reluctantly, I open my eyes, half expecting to see some other kind of nightmarish ghoul out of the window. But I don't see anything. Just the road stretching out ahead of us. What's wrong? Leo's quiet for a moment. I can't see his face since I'm right behind him, but I can see the outline of his twitching ears.
I don't.
Leo turns in his seat, looking out the passenger window, then his own.
I'm heading in the right way, right?
I look out the window as well, not seeing anything except sagebrush and cacti. But then I do notice something. The mountains...
I mean, the road is literally has mountains right next to it and then just a cliff drop. on the other side. So it's like, yeah, you're not turning around unintentionally.
The mountains, which had been on the right, are now on my left, rising up ominously in the distance. Had we turned around somehow? Unless we're on the highway, which we definitely aren't. This road merges right onto the highway. There's no way we could have missed it. I hear TJ gasp softly next to me. I look over at him, but he's looking straight ahead, out the windshield. I do the same, and in the distance I can see headlights off on the side of the road.
No way. What is it? I'm Carl. I don't have eyes. But I'm Detective Carl. Behold.
Leo brings the car to a hard stop, throwing me forward in my seat into the seatbelt. Then he does a quick 3-point turn, shoving me right then left before I'm smacked back into the seat as Leo accelerates again.
So here's here's one thing I want to talk about. I want to inquire: is this all just a hallucination created by the monster? Because I have this feeling that if they just kept going, like he didn't stop and turn around, and he just kept driving, that they would actually end up in Peyton. Like it's all just a hallucination. Like it's all in their heads.
Again, spoilers from other routes. Since people on the outside also can't get into Echo, I do think it's a dimensional warp thing.
Yeah, it probably creates a demi-plane of Echo,
Mm-hmm.
and when this happens, it probably creates a demi-plane of Echo, and then essentially you're just locked in that until a demi-plane dissipates. So...
Okay, so
Yeah, because the cavalry was trying to show up, but they couldn't until they dealt with the hysteria.
Yeah, so it's probably something where it is essentially a sphere scooped up all of Echo, like a massive one, and you're now in that. Have fun. And when you get to an edge, it kind of just there's probably a liminal barrier that you can drive into. And when you get to the end of that barrier, it just flips you around and you come back in going the opposite way. So you don't, accidentally just drive through yourself. That would be kind of problematic.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, careful, my parents will kill me if you fuck up this ride. It's a hybrid in 2015. It's the Toyota Prius Ramo edition.
Carl laughs nervously, but no one pays attention to him.
I need weed.
There's no fucking way. I was going straight.
Which is hard for me, but I did it.
Boom! Zing!
There's that side of the road that takes you off to the trails. Maybe we sort of went off and on with, not noticing any gravel. But do you guys want to go for a hike? I'm TJ. That's my characteristic.
Leo snaps at the link suddenly.
There's no way, TJ. That road is fucking gravel. I would have noticed.
Leo is hunched in his seat like an angry dad, staring out the windshield, his ears practically dancing on his head.
I can only imagine it's like Mr. Incredible, just hunched over. They get it towards the end of the movie. Are we there yet, Dad? We get there when we get there.
I'm just imagining Mr. Incredible and that monster squaring up. He just punches the shit out of it.
Yeah, he probably would.
He's just beating the fuck out of that thing.
He takes a swing and just disappears and slaps him off the cliff.
He's like, oh yeah? Catch me up here. Just flies straight up.
But I also think it's funny that it says his ears are dancing on his head, and that just makes me think of another visual novel. Harlan, I think his name was, the big rabbit. That's more for Kaiser and other long-term fans of Echo. They know who I'm talking about, because that was his characteristic twitch whenever he was unsure or nervous. His ears would be dancing on his head too.
Yep.
I can feel TJ trembling, so I lean in I lean into him a bit, letting him know that I'm there. It's clear that Leo doesn't want any more talking, so we're all quiet. This time I keep my eyes open, staring out the window in case Leo dead gets sidetracked somehow.
Dead?
Well, he was just staring at Chase in the rearview mirror and just like, oh, oops. And none of us noticed that he spun out and started going the other way.
Yeah, and no
Yeah,
one
you
else
know.
noticed that that gravel road actually got paved recently, so that's exactly what happened. Leo needs to
see-
focus on the road instead of his chula.
You see, Carl just had all those hallucinogenics that he had taken. Then when he vomited them up, the like fumes or I don't know something
They become
made everyone
airborne.
trip balls.
Yeah, he just spread aerosolized DMT through the car.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, he had way too many edibles, and then when he vomited, all those edibles became airborne. Made everyone high.
I focus on the mountains, making sure that they don't disappear. They sloped up and down gently under the moonlight, speckled with dark spots of rock and vegetation. Vaguely, I remember back when I had been obsessed with skateboarding and had always imagined myself skating those slopes on my car trips to Peyton. Up and down, up and down. If only Echo had anything like that. The only slope we had was the one down from Carl's mansion. That was way too big. I tried to skateboard down it once, but that had ended in disaster when I blink. Staring out the window as the mountains just disappear, slope down into nothing. I squint to then look out Carl's window. Sure enough, mountains.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Leo?
Would be funny if like it just became like a Monty Python skit, and the mountains just stood up. And they had like these real scrawny legs, and they started dancing, and you could hear them just going whoop doop 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 doop. They go from the one side of the car to the other, whoop boop 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 boop, boop, and then you just lay down.
No, I'm imagining more of the Monty Python, like just the weird out of place hand drawing, just immediately scoops the car up and just like spins it around.
And just like
We were going to have an animation where the mountains went to the other side, but then, in a tragic turn of fate, the animator had a heart attack.
dies. And then
Well,
you
those responsible for that have been sacked, so.
yeah, and then you just see like across the screen just and people are just like and the guy and the character is just like, well, he wouldn't write he would say and then die. He wouldn't actually write it. Especially not across the sky.
Well, I don't know, it just says right here. Alright, Leo, go for it.
Leo!
I know. Wait, no, that wasn't him. I know.
Leo speeds up instead of turning around, though.
This is impossible.
What are you doing? I, TJ, do not understand Euclidean space and its braking or the driving of a car.
And then
Welcome.
And then Leo takes like he's going super fast. He starts skidding around a turn, as all of a sudden you hear this like music I never. Deja vu.
He just starts drifting. Welcome to non-Euclidean geometry.
No, I was gonna say it should be blasting Hot Eye Joe. They're all rednecks out there. As he's just trying to like, all right, this hybrid is gonna go off road. We'll get out of here.
And this crazy banjo.
You know, that is something you definitely do not want to hear when there's this massive monster. You really don't want to hear dun 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 dun. It's like you hear this like running sound behind the car. It's like, oh no. Oh
Well,
no.
there is someone very like Deliverance about. Still.
It's just like squeal like a duke.
Squeal like a dude.
TJ's claws come out against my skin as he gets that scared cat look in his eyes. Leo mumbles, mostly to himself.
There's no way we're going back to Echo.
Leo, slow down a little. Leo lets out a small growl, but relents as and TJ's grip on my arm loosens some.
I'm gonna keep going until I see that car, because I sure as hell didn't turn around that time.
The tone in Leo's voice keeps any of us from arguing. Though I hate to admit it, something about his demeanor has me just a little scared of him as scared of him as I am of whatever's out there.
Just
Another
because
minute
he's
of-
gone completely silent and is having his anger just boil out in every direction, and is driving very recklessly through non-Euclidean space that we keep mentioning. I don't know why you would worry.
Another minute of driving, more awkward silence. Then, Leo hisses through his teeth. Straight ahead of us, the headlights appear.
What? My beautiful baby car. What did that Duke and that monster do to you?
I must be dreaming. It's like we're stuck in some kind of loop. Leo slows down more and more until we come to a gentle stop. We sit there in silence, staring at my car about 100 yards in front of us. Leo starts muttering darkly to himself, looking out the windows, looking at the dashboard. I want to ask him if he's okay, but I don't. But I know what the answer is. TJ makes a soft whimpering sound next to me. He is trying not to cry, and I finally put my arm around him.
It's okay. It's just dark, and we're going off-road somehow. That's right, TJ. None of the mystery stuff has happened. I will gaslight you.
That's right. I whisper whatever comes to my mind to explain what the fuck is happening. Carl has his head down in his paws, completely quiet. He could be asleep for all I know. I think about suggesting that maybe we should just wait it out until morning in the car, but as I open my mouth, I hear a scratching noise towards the back of the car. TJ's ears perk up, which lets me know that I'm not the only one. Instinctively, I turn around in my seat. Bits of glass fly into my face, and the next thing I know, I'm cowering in the seat, head down as far as I can push it. Carl, very much awake now, screams at Leo.
Oh. I mean, I just want you to be a go-go boy, Leo. Get that shirt off.
Leo's already on it, and I feel the car jolt forward. Then I'm
That
bouncing
worked out a
up,
little
and
well.
then I'm bouncing up and down, and in the seats as we go off-road. Leo not bothering with a 3-point turn this time, instead going for a full U-turn. We're back on the asphalt, speeding down the road when I feel it's safe enough to raise my head back up and look out the back window. For a moment, I'm terrified of that I'm going to find that thing crouched under the trunk staring at us. But instead, all I see is a giant hole through the back window, remaining glass jagged.
Are you guys okay?
Leo looks back and
Yeah,
forth
Leo.
between us.
But, you just keep driving.
And, if
Yeah,
this were
looks-
like a regular Hollywood horror film, they'd be driving, and then there's all of a sudden just someone would get snatched out the back window. Just feel like Carl or
Yeah.
TJ was like, ah!
It should be like a 90s or early 2000s horror thriller movie. It's like
Yeah,
they're
like
driving,
Creepers.
and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like the thing's head just comes down in front of the car. They're like, "Oh!"
Or actually, it's like TJ is like there with his arm, and then suddenly he screams, and Chase looks like beside him. He's like, "Oh no, TJ's gone, but his arm's still on my shoulder." There's like a stump, and all the TJ haters rejoiced.
Leo looks back and forth between us and the road ahead of him. I sit up fully.
I think so.
Hey,
Again,
Yellow.
if we don't have visual injuries, there means no injuries at all, right?
Yeah. Except for the blood running down Chase's arm still right now, because no one ever stitched it shut, but
And
yell at
Chase's concussion from the car hit
yeah.
earlier.
I yell at him over the sound of the car and the wind whistling around behind me. Carl is bent over in his seat, too, brushing glass from his hat and hoodie. I look at TJ, who's still crouched over his own seat, covering his head. Bits of glass are scattered on the back of his head fur. I pick some of the pieces out of the fur on his neck and lean over him.
TJ, are you okay? Because you're such a strong, willed person that you folding right now is just out of character.
TJ shudders and doesn't say anything as I pluck some of the shards from under his collar. What was that? Kudzu shouts back at us, staring through the window.
I don't know. My journalism powers have failed me.
I don't want to think about what I actually think it was. Leo keeps up the high speed, hitting some of the potholes hard enough that I'm worried we're going to get a flat. Then we'd be in real trouble. I mean, sorry. Then we'd be in real trouble.
Gotta really make sure they use that italics right for you, huh?
What's italics is capitals.
So you gotta yell it.
They're shouting. We drive for another 5 minutes in silence, and then the headlights of my car appear in front of us again. This time, no one says anything, and Leo doesn't bother turning around.
He just rams head on into my car.
He just runs in and he just makes sure that he slows down enough to drive over Duke over and over and over. I watch out my window as we pass my old car.
I feel the thump of Duke underneath us. Boom, boom.
They should
So I
just
was
get
like,
Duke.
"Right."
They should just get Duke and like put his body like on the car that they're driving, so that when the monster shows up, it accidentally grabs Duke and tears him off instead of, Duke is still there on the ground. No movement from where he was the last time we saw him.
No, actually, it's like the next time the monster shows up, like you don't really see it. You just see Duke just suddenly just like drop onto the hood while they're still gunning it down the highway, and they all just go ah.
No. The headless Duke then stands up and starts chasing the car.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it does that, and it's got like its shirt off, and it's got like this like just like really like well developed pecs and just like good like great abs, and it's like holding a bomb in each arm, and it's like a T-pose, and it's just running at them, and you can hear it going. Ah!
Yeah, it's the headless bombers from Serious Sam. Since this is the area where the creature seems to be prowling, I look at the back window again. I want to be ready in case it comes through again, but nothing happens. All I see
Chase will
is
fight it with his fisticuffs. Pow!
yeah. All I see is a small stretch of asphalt illuminated by the red from the tail lights, and all I hear is the wind whipping through my ears.
Well, there's nothing to stop, the wind from going between one ear and the other, so.
Brainless Chase.
I keep a hand on TJ's back as he continues to remain hunched over. Carl sits quietly, staring out his window.
Yeah.
On the bright side, the bashed-in back window has diminished the smell of sick. Sparse dots of light show up on the horizon, indicating where Echo is. That's when Leo speaks
gotta
up.
look to the sunny side of life.
That's right.
And more Monty Python mentions will continue.
Gotta look on the bright side of life.
You are all individuals.
This is the life of Brian. Alright. What we're gonna do is head back to my house. You guys can get some sleep while I figure out what to do next.
Leo pauses, but no one says anything.
Sound good?
Yeah. Not much
shouldn't
left
they
to
go
do.
to Carl's where there's a lot more space and food other than TV dinners?
Leo
Right.
grunts and hunches forward into his seat again. There's a sinking feeling in my stomach at the thought of going back to Echo. There's the comfort of at least not being out in the wilderness, but I wonder if that's much worse than the town, even with that creature prowling around. I stare out the window, watching the mountains move slowly by under the moonlight as we turn into Lake Emma Road. I'm wondering if taking one of the mountain roads out of town would be worth it. Whether we'd have enough gas when it happens. A crouched figure sits on the peak of the hill, just about 50 feet away from where we are. I squint at it, just barely able to make out what looks like a shoulder and a head hunched up under the light of the moon. I'm directly across from the thing when I open my mouth, but I'm barely able to make a sound when it moves. It dashes down the hill in a blink of an eye, covering the distance between it and our car in a matter of 2 seconds. One moment I'm staring at a tiny black figure, and the next it's right up against the car, smashing into the side between Leo's door and mine. My head smacks into the glass, and all I see is a flash of light. At the same time, I hear Kudzu shout at us to hold on. TJ screams. Carol yells. My feet are fucking freezing. I open my eyes and stare down at them. It's almost too dark to see, but I can hear the sounds of sloshing water and screaming.
Shit! I'm incredibly athletic and have sharp claws to cut the seatbelt, but I'm helpless!
Well, he
What?
is in a panic, so.
My head aches, and there's something in my eyes that stings. Everything's blurry.
Probably the glass.
It's probably the piss from TJ.
Or Carl's vomit.
Yeah, it just washes through his face.
There's many options.
Just shoots up as soon as the car starts flipping.
Yeah, it just becomes like it just becomes aerosolized.
Aerosolized.
Aerosolized. It gets in everyone's eyes, and they're like, "Ah, I got vomit in my eyes! Ow, 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 ow!"
Oh,
The
there's
vomit
just
e-glass combo, yeah.
there's just piss and shit and sweat. Ooh, that's sweat.
The aristocrats. Like every single time.
Go for it, Leo.
Just, are you okay?
A big paw
Because you're
pounds.
not going to ask about any of the others.
What's
A
the
big
others?
paw prods at my chest, and I look up. I can barely make out the outline of ears. Leo? Wait. And then it hits me. It hits me like the car crash we were just in. That thing. I look out my window again, but it's all shattered it's all shattered and a spider webbed. It's all shattered and spider webbed. But I can see what looks like water pouring through it. At the same time, I feel that icy sensation running down my back as the water comes through the broken back window like a waterfall. We crashed into the fucking lake.
Chase!
Boink, I'm good.
I grab at my seatbelt, taking way longer than it should to get undone. All the while, there's a bizarre feral yowling sound next to me. I don't realize it's TJ until his claws find my chest and arms and dig in.
Ow, TJ, stop. Calm down. You use those claws on the seatbelt.
But he doesn't even respond. Continue on with that god-awful sound.
You know, and then TJ reopens his wound because it'll just never heal.
No, actually, TJ just
it makes it worse, yeah.
no, TJ just instantly calms down. He's like, "What? I'm panicking. What do you expect me to do?" And just goes straight back to
Reminds me of the old producer's bit.
yeah.
Where I'm hysterical. I'm having hysteria. Slaps him. No, I'm still hysterical. Ah! Throws water on him. He's like, no, I'm still hysterical.
No. It's like airplane. No, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. Slap. And there's just like there's just a line of people. They have increasingly more violent weapons.
Oh yeah, just keep beating
Calm
on the
down,
guy.
calm. One person has like a mace. One person has a warhammer.
Oh yeah, because she's been annoying the whole movie.
Yeah. All right, Carl, go for it.
Through the window, because Windows is clearly the best operating system. Take that, Mac.
Yeah, it's better than Mac. Unless you're a Linux user, then that's the best one, right?
Linux.
Carl's already up on the rear deck, trying to push through the water coming in.
Come on, let's go. I am
Carlos.
now leadership, Carl. This is I took off my detective hat, put on my leadership beanie.
Carl's screaming, panicked voice disappears suddenly, and I can only hope that it's because he got out.
Chase, Chase, come on. We need you to get out.
I feel Leo's big paw grabbing at me, but I turn and push them away.
Go for it, Chase.
I'm fine. Let me help TJ.
Chase!
Leo, I'm a fucking otter. The water at this point is up to my chest. The car's front end is tipped down, and the water and the sparse moonlight coming in through the back. I can see it's up to Leo's neck. Kudzu is somehow in the back with me and TJ, where Curl was. He's staring at me, wide eyes, looking torn between escaping and helping me. Go, Kudzu! Through the window. Leo, get out through your door.
Chase! Chase!
Go! Scream at him.
I'm back.
Okay. I scream at basically everyone, and I can only hope they do as I say as I duck down and the water goes over my head. The quiet peace of underwater is a sharp contrast to the fucking chaos in my brain is in. Somehow, in the wreck, back seat crushed forward, and TJ's seatbelt buckle is lost somehow in the crease. I grit my teeth. I can only hold my breath for 10 minutes, but I know for most other species, it's less than 2.
Especially when they're screaming.
For a last, if you're panicked out of your mind like TJ is, I grit my teeth and as calmly as I grit my teeth as I calmly try to reach between the folds, between the seats and the back, despite the desperate clawing the lynx is giving me. Again, though, it's too far wedged in to get a hold on. Soon my calm demeanor melts away as I fumble uselessly with the seatbelt and time stubbornly marches on.
I can imagine it's only like the butt cheeks of the car.
I feel myself start to panic as I just grab TJ around the body and yank as hard as I can. But it's no use at all. And when I pull on the chest strap, it's jammed and I can't get any slack. TJ's grasping and clawing starts to become weaker. Try to think of something to use to cut the strap, but there's
Only
nothing.
the sharp claw that kept, attacking you. If only you could just, grab his paw and then just use his nail.
Oh
But,
yeah,
no.
but claws don't really cut; they kind of just tear.
Yeah, but a good tear,
Maybe a shard of glass? I move up and away from TJ towards the back window, trying to ignore how he weakly tries to clutch at me. As I reach up As I reach up to the seat, though, my hand slips between the headrest and the rear deck. I reach further and realize that it's the trunk of the car. With a lunge, I reach down and feel along the bottom of the seat back. My paw runs up against something hard and metal. I know I found what I'm looking for. I grab up the buckle and unlatch it. Swimming around as quickly as I can, I grab the strap across TJ's chest and set my feet against the seat. I pull back as hard as I can, and just like that, it comes undone. I scoop up TJ, his limp body giving me an extra burst of adrenaline as I set my feet against the back of the driver's seat and push out. My aim is a little off as my head hits the ceiling instead, but I'm able to quickly find the hole pretty quickly and kick through it.
Yeah, that's funny. He's just like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, Chase's big action moment and kathunk.
It reminds me of like the cat that we had once. Remember Tobias? And I remember sometimes you'd jump off like the couch or something and land next to him and be like, ah! And he would just give you this startled look and then just run directly away from you and just like run into something.
Oh yeah, I remember him doing that a lot. That was hilarious. He was such a good cat.
Must be
Poor
psychic.
cat.
But he would just like turn head like and just run like forehead first into like a wall. It was like one time he went to go like I kind of startled him and he went to spin around and run, but he just like jammed his nose into like the threshold of a door and he just sat there. It's kind of like it was like he was cussing like, oh fuck shit.
Yeah, he had that look on his face like, son of a bitch. And then he'd like run around it.
Yeah.
He was a good cat.
Yeah, he was a good cat. I love that cat.
Yeah.
We were just a little too hard on him because we were too young.
Yeah, I mean, we were just little bastards, but he was a good cat.
We were little assholes, yeah. Love my boy.
It's a little awkward to undulate my body into a nice, clean swim with TJ's weight, but I manage it well enough, and within seconds we break the surface. I breathe out into the air while TJ coughs and sputters. His arms wrap around my neck tightly, and I have to put a paw under his arm to keep him from strangling me.
TJ, we're good. You're good. Calm down. Because you can do that instantly.
Yeah, and TJ's not flailing around anymore. Like, TJ, we're good. You're good. Calm down. TJ's just like basically asleep.
I look around and I'm amazed to see how far we are from the shore. It's a good 100 yards away. I can already see Kudzu standing there, and Leo's in the shallows, shouting at Carl, who's a few feet further in, splashing around. I kick off in that direction as TJ continues to hyperventilate into my ear.
TJ, it's okay. Remember, you used to ride on my back in the lake. It's just like old times, where an otter drowned.
I try to adopt a soothing tone between my ragged gasps for air. TJ does finally settle on my back, though his arms are still around my neck. Still, not better than him dragging me down with him. His gasps calm down as we get closer to shore, tapering off into that weird sort of mumbling sound. I can make out a few words, though. One of them is a name, Sydney. I frown and swim a bit faster, wanting to get him to dry land so that he can get his wits back together. Meanwhile, Carl finally grabs onto Leo's outstretched paws and pulls him back into shore. All the while, he stares at me and TJ intently.
He didn't deserve, that ice cream he got that day. He was just a beach. Also, I probably, also he didn't deserve, actual death. But, I made a child wish. At least in the Welcome to Echo version.
I shush him gently as I finally feel my toes find the sandy bottom of the lake. I gently pull the lynx back with me to the narrow strip of sand between the lake and the incline that slopes up to the road. Carol's already there. flat on his back, spread eagle, so I do the same with TJ, laying him down right next to the ram.
Hello?
He's
Hello?
still trying to talk though. Hello?
Jeez! Did Sydney? How long how long was it that I think I saw you murder him? Because, it's otter on otter combat.
I gently put a paw over the lynx's muzzle.
Yeah, TJ, shut up about the murder, eh?
Quiet.
It's all right, man. Just relax and breathe. And do not talk about the murder.
Kuzu stands next to me and starts to reach out to touch my shoulder. You okay? And then a much paw comes out from behind me.
I assume there was supposed to be a larger in there?
No, a much smaller paw.
Yeah.
It's not actually a
And then
paw.
a-
It's just a penis.
No.
Yeah,
No,
Jenna
it's,
just appears out of the mist, and
It's-
it's like, no, I want to hug the chase now.
A much
it's
more
tall.
phallic paw comes out.
no, I got this. And then a much paw comes out from behind me, pushing Kuzu's arm aside as I'm pulled back into a tight hug. Leo hops in my ear.
Oh, thank God. You were under for so long.
I'm okay. I am an aquatic animal, Leo. Why aren't you showing any concern to the other 3 people that almost died?
Because
Especially TJ, that I had to do like an underwater action scene to save.
they won't give me their holes.
I reach back with a paw, setting it against the side of Leo's face. When I bring it back, I see that it's a bit darker than it should be. I look back and immediately see a gash on the side of Leo's face.
If you rearrange these words, he's just insulting. Shit, your head. Instead of you shithead. Gotta make sure I read that right.
Leo brushes off my paws.
Your head. I think we both hit our windows when something hit us.
And flung you across the town.
Yeah, really, like launched you into space.
I reach up, feeling around my forehead before I feel a sore, sticky spot in my fur. It isn't a bad cut, but it's definitely leaking a good amount of blood.
I don't know how my hand, got changed with my head. Or my arm changed with my head, but there it is. The same gash. It's on my head.
Yeah, no, you've got 2 now.
My,
so,
my head and my arm just changed places.
Like eventually he'll just be nothing but gashes.
He's just the blood otter.
Yeah,
blood
eventually
otter.
he'll just be nothing but gashes, just all over his entire body. Nothing but lacerations.
It was that thing we saw next to Duke. I saw it standing up on the hill, and it just ran at us.
I look over at
Tastes like a socket, but I don't think it's the same monster.
Kuzu, who's moved to stand over Carl, his arms hugging his chest tightly.
Yep. Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing automatically switched again. Where were we at? Kuzu, are you okay?
Nope,
Yeah.
That's it. Kutsu, go for it.
Kuzu,
That's
Kuzu,
you,
are
Finn.
you okay? I'm fine. His response is tense and a little high-pitched. I don't know about Carl, though. I don't know about Carl, though. He had a little trouble swimming back. Carl lets out a choked cough in response.
He's only wearing a giant super absorbent hoodie, and he's a sheep, so he would have wool that would absorb a lot of water and weight. Yeah, I don't know why he had any trouble. And he only does strength workout. He doesn't do any cardio.
I gently pull away from Leo and kneel down next to the ram, between him and TJ. He's conscious, luckily, though his panting is a bit shallow. I set a paw gently on his head.
You okay? Do you need some weed?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually RimWorld, and he has a weed dependency. So if he doesn't get it, if he doesn't get it frequently enough, he just goes into a coma and dies.
Yeah, in the smoke room, they clarify that weed does help keep the spookies out of your head. That and sex.
So if any of us ever feel possessed, all we gotta do is find some good ass and then get high while we're doing it.
Preferably both at the same time. Right?
Yeah. Just
Well,
you're just like
those two. That's why. Yeah, that does kind of feed into why they're both the way they are. Is because whether they knew it or not, they were trying to keep off the spookies.
yeah. So all you really do is you just have like a plate of edibles while you're actually doing this, like right next to your bed.
Wait, is that not normal at parties? Wait.
I don't go to parties, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. He says it like he's asking me a question.
You sure? Mr. Ram? You didn't sound committed.
Let's ramble that bam.
I mean, yeah, I'm breathing. I didn't mean to leave you guys, but as the heaviest and worst dressed person for this scenario, me taking care of myself is actually the best thing I could have done.
Yep.
It's fine. Staying with us would have made things way worse.
It's strange to me how collected I am right now. I guess it's the same numbing feeling that I've felt since escaping Brian's trailer. Just take that fucked up stuff. Just take the fucked up stuff and stuff in and roll with it.
I'm not bad at swimming, but it was just too cool. Yeah, it caused a shrinkage. That's what happened. Totally. And, my clothes felt like they weighed 1,000,000 pounds.
They probably did almost.
Yeah, I know. That looks
looking
like
at
a
his-
nice, thick hoodie, so that and the beanie weight,
Yeah.
The beanie just weighed him down.
Looking at his thick sweater, it isn't a surprise at all. TJ's quieted down next to me. His eyes are open, staring up at the sky as he chops quietly. They're so wide and glassy, I can see the reflection of the stars twinkling in them. I tentatively reach out and rest a paw on his head like I did with Carl. TJ barely reacts, continuing to stare up at the sky.
Beach?
I feel Leo's huge presence crouch down next to me as he gets close and whispers into my ear. I've been trying to reach you regarding your car insurance.
We now have Ghostagram? Is that our new latest policy?
I'm trying to think of something funny that's working right now. Listen, we should get going to my house. I don't like being out here, especially if that thing really did do this. I'm a scared little bitch.
I can't shoot it with my gun. I don't know what to do.
Leo's like, monster, why you do this?
But TJ, I don't know if he's able. Because we were in a very traumatic situation, and it's been a whole minute.
I'll carry him, don't worry. I'm very strong. I just throw him to my house from here.
And he does, scooping the lynx up into his arms like he's a baby.
I've been punting him across the sky.
He just princess carries TJ the entire way.
Honestly, TJ's not small. He might be able to do that.
Yeah.
Princess TJ.
He just throws him like a javelin.
Yeah, it's the yelling javelin just... Yeah!
Then he goes and reaches back into his football skills.
As he's flying through the
quarterbacks
air, you just see this four-legged abomination go flying through the air and catch him.
And then comes running forward, like TJ's pressed against his chest, and like one arm is like stretched out, and Lito was just like, "Fucking football, let's go!" And he just runs over there and they tackle each other.
All right, Leo, go for it.
All right, come on, we can rest at my house. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Leo starts trekking up the rocky slope. Kudzu and I wait for Carl, who lays on the ground a moment longer. We're finally rolling over and getting laboriously to his feet.
You
I
know,
hold
now him wanting to go back to his own house makes sense because that's the closest location. But when they were in the car, like, no, to go to Carl's house. Like, you have supplies and resources and, you know,
A castle.
more room to spread out. Yeah.
Yeah. I hold one hand, and Kudzu holds the other. And together we make our way onto the road and back into Echo.
And they start skipping and singing Yellow Brick Road.
See, I
It's
was
the-
just about to say that. So, like, this is sounding very Wizard of Oz.
It's the Echo Brick Road.
Yeah. It's just follow the Echo Brick Road. Follow the
Mhm.
Echo Brick Road. Follow the Echo Brick Road.
Okay, so
Hello?
Chase would be Dorothy. Would Leo be the Tin Woodsman?
He might be. He might be the.
Because
tin.
Carl should definitely be Scarecrow.
So he doesn't have a brain.
Would TJ be Toto? Or whatever
Yeah.
the dog's name is?
TJ's Toto.
Yeah, TJ's Toto, and then
Wait, now is TJ Toto or like the Cowardly Lion?
Well, the lion's actually, like, dangerous when he's courageous, right?
yeah,
He's
so
actually
yeah,
capable.
that might be Carl, and then I don't know. Flynn is Scarecrow. I don't know.
Flynn is the huntsman. He doesn't appear in the show, but he's probably there in the book.
Huh. Yeah, I thought Carl was a ram, not a llama. He wore a hat.
Well, I mean,
Well-
he's always sporting that beanie.
hmm The walk to Leo's house is short, only about 15 minutes, but it feels like it takes much, much longer than that.
You know,
Which-
Kaiser. Now we have to request that we get, like fan art of Echo. That is just the main cast as the characters of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I still want to. Yeah, I didn't do it this week, but I still want to draw Chase as a tree for all the shade he throws.
Every tiny sound makes me shake my leaves. Every tiny sound makes me jump, and I'm steeling
Shake my
myself for the
leaves.
moment I see that creature again. Nothing happens, though. No screaming, no gunshots. Aside from the crickets, the town is dead quiet.
Oh,
Still.
the murderers all got tuckered out.
Oh.
You know, it is 4 a.m. -ish. Still.
I mean, we have like 5 murderers right now, right? Still, we keep to the shadows, cutting through some backyards and sagebrush, probably picking up dozens of spiders and ticks along the way. It's funny, despite everything that's going on, spiders are the biggest thing that are on my mind as I push through the branches and foliage.
Well, I mean,
Finally.
it's the hazard you're currently facing. So it's like, yeah, you should probably be thinking about keeping that on top of the mind because that's the thing you're dealing with.
Mhm.
Finally, the wolf's small house appears out of the dusty, dark night. Its house. Where are they?
Yeah, the house just suddenly has a cane, gonna diagnose you.
It's got a cape, mask. Leo walks out ahead of us with TJ. TJ asked to walk on his own halfway here, and now he's clinging to Leo's hand like a child, like a kid afraid of getting lost in the mall. I don't blame him. As we're walking up to the house, though, Leo stops. Kudzu, Carl, and I crowd behind him. What is it? Leo puts a finger to his lips, then points at the window on the side of the house. It's broken. Shit. Leo lets go of TJ's hand and then makes a stay here motion with the other as he starts creeping towards the house. With some difficulty and a few awkward sounds, Leo pulls his gun out of his wet pants. I scream internally at the thought of Leo going in alone, but he's the only one with a weapon now. Apparently, Kudzu lost his during the whole lake incident, which Leo's pretty pissed about.
You know that
Leo.
great gun that Duke had? You know, that put Brian right down? You know, it's going to be painful to be without it.
Yeah. Well, now it's got even better use. It's truly living up to its full potential. It's a water gun.
Mm-hmm. Leo tries the door, then disappears inside, reaching out to make sure the screen door doesn't bang shut behind him. And then he was gone. We
The
stand there in silence for a moment, then Kudzu whispers, "Hey, let's stand back just in case."
Yeah, okay.
Kudzu turns towards the road while I face towards Leo's house. Carl and TJ stand on either side of us. TJ hasn't said a word since Leo put him down. Ever since what happened at the lake, something in him snapped.
Maybe we should have gone up to like my place, you know, where there's room and food and, you know, internet maybe when it would come back on.
Maybe a safe
Instead-
room somewhere.
Oh yeah, as Hendrix, we all have personalized panic rooms.
Oh yeah.
Also, I could get my weed.
And there's like this big like balcony we can use to look out into the side onto the city and just make sure nothing's coming up.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure my parents have some rifles we can use. We can all be roof Koreans.
Roof Koreans.
Carl gazes up sadly towards the mountains, his mansion somewhere hidden in the darkness. I don't know. I don't know. If someone broke into Leo's place to steal stuff, they definitely want to do the same to yours. Knowing this town, Kudzu's probably right. Most of the people here resented Carl's family and the way their mansion looked over the whole town. Like they were taunting us, people would say.
That is something James Hendrick the First would do.
Taunt the town. Oh,
Be like, no, I am the leader. I am above everyone. Also, I have a secret mine entrance.
I'm James Hendricks Musk.
He's gonna make Hendrix X, right?
Hendrix X.
Echo X.
Yeah,
there
no,
you
he's
go.
gonna just rock
Echo
out to,
X.
you know, Kiss the Sky. You know, there's a purple haze.
Yeah. I work 80 hours a week and play video games 80 hours a week. Yeah. Nice.
He's gonna take over some social media place and call it H
H
for Hendrix.
for Hendrix.
Well, actually, there's already somebody doing that in the Welcome to Echo universe. There, yeah.
I keep my eyes on the
Vincent's
house.
Vincent's mom is secretly Elon Musk.
X
keep
cream. That's what it is. He sells ice cream. It's X cream.
he'll try to make some like a YouTube competitor. He'll call it X videos, then realize it's already taken.
No, it's got to be triple X videos.
All those sexy fixes.
He makes X Hub, but I can't tell you what it's about.
X Hub.
It's just nothing but Mr. Musk with his personal. You'll figure it out. I keep my eyes on the house, trying to see through the black windows. Leo hasn't turned on any lights, of course, so I can't really see anything. Listening doesn't bring any clues either.
So, what do you guys think that thing was?
I don't know. I still think it was some kind of animal.
It practically bent the car in half and threw it miles away. Like, the bending is not the impressive part there, Chase.
I say it out of the side of my mouth, away from TJ.
Maybe we should like go inside. Probably safer. It's probably safer in there, even if there's a burger or whatever. I can just ram him with my horns. Because secretly, I have a strength field under here.
The sleeper strength build.
Didn't the mayor say something about it? Like, it only kills us if we try to leave? Which we tried to do, and it tried to kill us, so, it's checked out.
I glance back at Kudzu.
Is that what she was talking about?
Kudzu shakes his head and shrugs his shoulders. I don't really know, Jess. So we go back to waiting. I'm about to mention that maybe we should move closer to the house, just in case when I hear a scream. It comes from inside Leo's house, and it definitely doesn't sound like Leo. Carl squeaks next to me.
Did I pick up?
No.
No, do not. Shit.
Shit.
I'm already running up the stairs, though, and I hear the others following closely behind. I push the door, almost running headlong into the bench where you're supposed to take off your shoes.
Huh. Which don't exist. So it's a magic bench that exists for no reason.
Yeah, it's a useless bench. You're supposed to take off your shoes. What are shoes?
Leo?
You clip your toenails and close out.
I shouted as I realized that it's probably a bad idea. I shout just as I realize it's probably a bad idea. A moment passes where the only sound I can hear is the heavy breathing of my friends behind me. Then,
Down here. Turn on the lights.
his voice comes from the hallway, and it's calm. I move a paw along the wall before finding a light switch, revealing the kitchen. We move down the hallway towards Leo's room, where I can see the light is on. Inside.
I don't know if I said this before, but that kitchen is pretty cute looking. Like, considering how much Leo's depicted as, like, this lonely, can't take care of himself red flag machine. Yeah.
Red
This
flag
picture is a very
machine.
cute kitchen.
I love that red flag machine.
Yeah, it's good that Leo has a job. Inside, I find Leo standing over his own bed. In the bed, I see someone else. A little polecat, disheveled in a tank top, looking even more skeletal than usual.
And then Chase just suddenly just gets real pissed off. You were fucking him on the side. I thought we were something, Leo. When he runs up, just punches Leo in the dick, and then just like storms out of the house. Everyone's like, Chase, he wasn't cheating.
Yeah, we're in an open relationship. It's Clint, curled up in a little ball.
You didn't say we were a close relationship. How could I know?
It's Clint, curled up in a little ball, cowering. Leo has
Okay,
his
I get to
gun.
do one more redneck voice today, so there we go.
Leo has his gun pointed on him.
Wait, please don't shoot me. I just needed a place to stay. For plot reasons, I chose my mortal enemy that wants me dead. Because that seems a lot safer than many of the other choices I have made today.
Have you seen
With
that
my
thing out there?
Valentine.
Have you seen that thing out there? Even my mortal enemy's a better choice than that thing. Leo inches the gun lower.
Then why aren't you at your own place?
Kudzu and Carl stand next to me while TJ stays in the doorway, gazing in at us from the dim hallway. Leo raises his gun again, and I actually think he's about to shoot Clint. Clint raises his paws, whining. Leo, wait. He helped me find Jace.
What?
Leo glances at Kudzu, then back at Clint. He came out to my door last night. He told me he saw Chase in the trailer. I'm confused too, but I guess I never asked Kudzu how exactly he was able to find me. My mind immediately flashes back to when I saw Clint peering at me in the trailer, asking Brian for drugs. I might not have found Chase if he hadn't told me. Clint nods enthusiastically to that, but Leo doesn't lower the gun.
I'm trying to think, what would be Clint's like monster that he's trying to run from? That's why he can't be in his house. Do you think it's like the legless wolf? Is it just gonna haunt him?
No idea.
It's just a giant needle.
It's just a giant needle of
It's the
heroin.
ghost of sobriety trying to catch him. Wait, Leo, Clint hasn't done anything to hurt us other than the hate crime, where I got my first concussion of the week.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything to hurt us like today, though, so, we got that. And just as it started.
Everyone's gone fucking crazy. Might as well get rid of him before he gets a chance at it too.
Wait, what are you doing, Leo? Just because Clint is the enforcer of the meth gang and their gunmen, you make it sound like they would take orders from, like, Duke or Brian. That would just be crazy.
Leo's got a hardened look on his face that I don't recognize at all.
Wait, I know how to get out of here, I think.
Leo's stance falters, but only just.
What do you mean?
That's why I'm here. Just get the gun off me for a second and I'll explain. See, there's magic and ghosts and all sorts of rational things.
Clint is twitchy and just keeps scratching at his chest and arms. Comes off like he was able to find those drugs after all. Come on, Leo. It's all of us against him. He can't do anything to us. Leo keeps the gun on, keeps the gun up for just a few seconds, and finally lowers it with a dismissive grunt.
No, fine. Alright, fine. How are we supposed to get out of here? The fucking car just turned itself around. And then you got this giant, like, Lovecraftian motherfucker that attacks our car.
It somehow teleports it, like, miles away.
Into a lake.
Clint slowly pushes himself up to sit against the frame of Leo's bed, clearing his throat.
Hell, do you guys try magic? Let's try some magic. So, I think I might have something to do with the train yard. You know, that thing that we set up, even though that was not the point of Chase's project?
There's a moment of silence as we all wait for Clint to go on. He just stares back at us, though. Well, stares at the gun in Leo's paws. Clint?
Not Clinton? Suspicious. Huh?
Clint doesn't look at Kudzu as his eyes remain fixated on the pistol. Leo, just put the gun down for a second, okay? On the dresser behind you or something. Leo shakes his head.
No fucking way. I'm not risking our lives again, Good.
Leo fixes Glint. Leo fixes Glintstone with a glare.
Leo.
Well, he Lucaria, so he's got to use it somehow.
Leo fixes Clint with a Claire.
Leo uses glare. Super effective.
Oh, Clint is paralyzed.
Yeah, Leo just uses Conqueror hockey and just knocked him out.
Yeah. The most I'm gonna do is keep the gun off you, Clint. It's staying out. I'm not gonna shoot my dick off for you.
Clint flinches when Leo says his name. I look over and see Carl twisting his paws around in the pockets of his hoodie, his eyes wide. TJ, on the other hand, is still standing in the hall, his eyes glinting softly, the dim lighting. For some reason, I get the feeling that he's looking at me.
Tell us now.
Leo's tone turns dark, and I look over, half expecting him to have the gun up again. It's still pointed at the carpet, but I can practically hear Leo's fingers twitching against the trigger guard.
You see it dancing like yours.
He almost looks excited. A Leo I know would never be so eager to kill someone. even if that someone happens to be Clint. I hope that when this is over, if we can get out of this somehow, Leo is able to get back to his old self.
Leo, again, have you tried magic? Because science has failed us. I am giving up my religion, and I am going to become a sorcerer.
Clint's shaking so badly he can barely speak. Finally, Kudzu steps between them. All right, Leo. You want to keep the gun? That's fine. But you can at least step into the hallway. Can you at least step into the hallway? Maybe he'll be able to calm down enough to...
No.
Kudzu stops short, but I see him set his jaw, drawing up his shoulders. Someone might have some information to get us out of here, and all you want to do is scare him shitless? I can see Leo puffing himself up, too. I don't like the look in his eyes. So I step forward on Kudzu's right, practically blocking Clint from Leo's line of sight. When I do, Leo's eyes snap to mine, the shimmering snarl disappearing from his muzzle.
Leo, come on. Let the crazy guy say his piece.
Move, Alter. Move out of the way.
His tone is gentle, like I'm some kind of kid.
It's a very, very gentle tone.
He's like, because you my baby, Nutria. No, Leo, you're acting really weird right now. Like, you want to murder, which does sound fun, but just stay calm for a second and see if you can actually find a way out.
Leo frowns at me.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep all of us safe.
I see the wolf leaning his head against the side, leaning his head to the side a little, like he's trying to keep an eye on Clint.
Leo, let's go out in the hall, and Kudzu...
I give the raccoon a sidelong glance.
really give him an up and down, be like, look at that Kudzu. Look at him. And can handle him for a few minutes, okay? I'll use my child voice, too.
Kudzu nods. I take a few cautious steps towards Leo. He's looking between me and Kudzu now, and there's a different look in his face. One that I'm having trouble placing. Reach out and gently touch his arm. The muscles are hard, the biceps standing out thickly under his fur. Still, I gently try to push him towards the door. As I do, I feel him go a little slack, and with a whole lot of relief on my part, he finally starts moving towards the hallway. Carl, still gaping at the whole scene, suddenly seems to snap out of it and hurriedly moves out of our way into the hall. Leo reluctantly continues to shuffle down the hallway as I put an arm around his side, hugging him into me. He responds with the same gesture. We pass a solemn-looking TJ, his eyes following me as we move towards the kitchen.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, back on phone.
We are at You Okay, TJ?
You okay, TJ?
He doesn't say anything, instead just slowly following us into the kitchen. His fur is still all spiky and mussed up from the plunge into the lake, and his clothes look uncomfortably damp. That gives me an idea.
Why don't we get all our clothes in the dryer? Naked time will fix everything. I'm the smartest daughter. And then maybe we could have something to eat. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of TV dinners.
I'm pretty sure we could just eat each other.
You know, if we're in a demi-plane, how does Echo have its own power plant? How is electricity flowing into Echo?
They do have a hydroelectric dam.
Oh, they do? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because he pointed up a different route.
Yeah, I think it's Jenna's route, right?
Yeah.
There's a moment of silence, neither TJ nor Leo giving me any response. Carl gives me a muffled cough, though.
Man, my wee cough is coming up right now. Hey, actually, I can go for some food.
I could
You
always
know,
go for some
I gotta
food,
have
dude.
something in my stomach so I can vomit it later.
About 20 minutes later, Carl, TJ, and I are sitting in the laundry room, putting our clothes through a dryer. I can hear Leo in the kitchen frying something up on the stove. It's a
Cussing
TV dinner. He just opened a bunch of them up and dumped them into a pan on the
No,
stove.
he just has it on the stove. He's like flipping it like a pancake.
Yeah, it's just the plastic. It's just like burning into the food.
Yeah. He hasn't opened it up. It's just like the cardboard is just being flipped in the pan. He's over there cussing.
That's how you get the plastic off, right, Chula?
Yeah. You just microwave it off. Yeah, sure.
Well, I should be worried about not keeping an eye on him. He's calmed down considerably since we were in his bedroom. Also, the laundry room is between the kitchen and the bedroom, so it would be pretty hard for him to get past without me seeing.
Because I am Sentry Otter. Behold, I will hold back giant wolves with my
So
otter
keep-
tool. Papa.
So I keep watching, leaning against the wall, staring out into the dark hallway. Carl sits on the dryer, vibrating along with it, while TJ sits on the floor cross-legged, looking at nothing.
Okay, I do like this section of the game. This feels good on my ass, dude. I mean, it's thin, but you know, I'll take this and stake it.
That's why I like Carl. He's just kind of funny like that.
What? The vibration? No one's shown you what a vibrator is, Carl? God, you're such a baby gay.
You just need to have they just need to put like something up there and then just like sit on that while it vibrates and it's like, oh yeah, baby.
Look, Carl, this has a little nub on the end of it, and this goes against your pros. Okay, so moving forward.
Okay, TJ, it's your turn. Time to get that vibrator action on your butt. No, I'm too pure.
I'm part of the group.
Oh no, I heard about this conversion therapy.
This may go against God, but so does that monster. So I don't know what rules are. Oh no, the heat. I was like freezing it, didn't even realize it.
Only his butt was cold.
My most vital area.
Carl knocks his hooves against the side of the metal dryer.
Hey, Teach, want to join me up here? We could get all vibrating together. You know you want to. Come on, Teach. No, thank you. I have my purity ring. I will be betrothed to another cat.
Imagine if, like, when reality shifted, if TJ's cross just got turned upside down or something.
That'd be funny.
He suddenly became Catholic because that's St. Peter. You can lean up against the side. Like, you gotta be cold too. I'm not inviting Chase up here because, like, he ghosted me all week. And I didn't explain why.
Yeah, screw that guy. He's an asshole. This time, TJ doesn't say anything, and I finally look away from the hallway.
TJ, are you okay? Do you want to talk? It's not like you've been through trauma tonight. Again, I will gaslight you. This has been a normal night.
TJ looks up at me again. TJ looks up at me again with those emotionless eyes.
No.
He
I mean, the
says,
real answer is yes, but I'll pretend to be strong even though I'm emotionally weighing everyone down.
He says it emotionally due quiet. It's almost like he didn't say anything at all. I hold his gaze for a while before looking away.
There it is. Oh, don't worry about it, T. We're gonna get out of here in no time. Naked time will fix all our problems. So get those boxers off.
Carl slides off the dryer, his damp underwear squeaking loudly against the metal as he clops to the ground. He gives a few strategic tugs of his underwear to probably loosen the wedgie he'd just created. Then he sits down on the ground in front of TJ, cross-legged as well.
Yeah, he just tugs his underwear and goes, "Oh, dude, my balls!"
TJ barely looks up at him, and I notice the links trembling slightly.
Listen, like back at my house, I was like stuck in this weird trap version of my house. It looked like the 1860s, because that's when that ghost would have been from, and there was like no exit. And I wasn't high, I swear. Pinky hoof swear.
TJ finally glances up at the ram.
Carl, were you just really high? And well, I thought I was gonna be stuck there forever, and I was like, panicking. And then there was like this nightmare that wouldn't end. And there was also a smoke monster. Jenna tried to fight me, but thankfully my friend Raven was there. No chase, this ghosted me. Not literally though, because there were ghosts. But then right when I was gonna give up, you guys woke me up and saved me. I sort of woke up to another nightmare, but at least I can take you guys with me. I mean, at least I'm with you guys.
I hear shifting, then the bedroom door swings open fully, and Kudzu appears, slipping out and closing the door quietly behind him. The raccoon spots me and moves over to stand next to me, his ears perked.
Hey?
Hey. I see Kudzu's nose twitch at the air, looking towards the kitchen. Leo?
He's cooking. It's amazing. I've never... who would have thought he had that ability? So, how'd it go? You two were in there for a while. Dish. Come on, Dish.
Who's having the baby?
Kudzu sighs and leans against the wall of the hallway, looking back at the closed door. I don't know, really. Said something about the train going through here, and going through here the past few days after everything started. Through the rail yard. Wait, that's Chase. Go for it, Chase.
Through the rail yard? You know, the one that we made sure we knew the audience was to know that it's derelict and not maintained?
That's what he says.
Huh.
It didn't make much sense. The rail yard has been abandoned for the past at least 50 years.
Are you sure he isn't just like the rest of us, seeing things? Between his meth and all his other drugs and his desperation. And also, this story doesn't actually make sense, and I'll talk about that more.
Kudzu shrugs. I really don't know. Hard to tell with a guy like him.
Yeah.
Well, I remember some guys inspecting the rails a few weeks ago. Maybe they opened one up again. That idea also seems strange to me, but I don't know much about trains.
So what, there's a train that's going through here? Are we just going to jump on it? Jump on it!
That was his plan, anyway.
Sounds like fun. Because Carl, can run very fast.
Yeah, because Carl can run and jump like everyone else.
I mean, he is a goat.
Yeah, but he couldn't exactly swim. He has no stamina. Has to take like
My
2
mind
steps
jumps to Robert Smith and what exactly happened to him when he tried to hop on a train. Even if I were able to get on the train, could that creature thing still get to us? It was able to knock the car into the lake, so I don't know how capable it is.
Just peels back the top of the train car, just rant like it's a sardine top.
No, even worse, it's like the end of a Resident Evil game. It just turns into this massive monster that's slowly creeping up the train car.
And it goes, stars.
Well, if Echo does turn into Raccoon City, Kudzu's, pretty set up.
Oh yeah, Kudzu's fine.
So when does the train come? Which I don't know that a train had a penis. So, new information all around.
Splatter.
He's not sure. I said it seemed random. I sigh loudly. Then we all jump up as the dryer finishes with a loud grating buzz. I shakily rub my face, then move to open the dryer. Inside the dryer, I see a big face with 3 empty holes looking up at me. What kind of weird bullshit is this?
Well, let's at least get our clothes back on, because I guess we're not gonna have.
Hello?
Yeah.
We all
Okay.
sit at the. Well, at least we get our clothes back on. Then we can go into the kitchen and tell Leo what's going on.
And then
We all
before we
sit-
actually go in, Leo crawls into the not Leo. TJ crawls into the dryer and starts meowing.
We walk into the kitchen and Leo whips out his gun and starts shooting everywhere at once.
That's when TJ demands that he gets his litter box. So he can't go into just a regular bathroom.
I didn't know we were going to a classroom.
In a Republican state, no less.
We all sit at the table, quietly eating quietly as Kuzu tells Leo everything. The food looks like some kind of vegetable stir fry. First bite reminds me that I'm starving, and it's hard not to just try and shove it all into my mouth at once. Carl, sitting across from me, just does just that.
It's amazing. I did not know that you could actually cook microwave meals in a cooktop. It's amazing. That sounds like a load of bullshit.
Kuzu shrugs. I don't know what else to go on. Why would he lie anyway?
To buy himself some time.
Also,
Did
why
you-
would a train just inherently be able to get through this barrier,
That's
but
what I was
nothing
thinking.
else?
That's what I was thinking. Like, why wouldn't it just like turn around and go down?
Well, I mean, it has a set path. You can't really have it turn around on itself. Otherwise, you'd have like matter overlapping, and
Multiple
it
cars.
just wouldn't work. I mean, it would have to be like it would actually be kind of comical because it would just like go straight, and then when it got to the edge of the liminal space, it would just be like and just stop because it literally runs into itself.
It would just like merge into itself. Be like Dungeons and Dragons. You remember that Dungeons and Dragons movie where they teleported and like I think the caster had like her arm fused into like a stone. She would start screaming. It'd just be like
Yeah.
that. Just the train cars just like suddenly just like slammed to a hole. They're just like merged into each other, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Like, it shows like one of them is just like merged in with like the metal of the train as it formed inside the other train. There's like,
Man,
Yeah, it's like a Star Trek transporter accident.
yeah.
you just reminded me of all those absolutely terrible Dungeons and Dragons movies before the most recent one came out. Oh man, they were all so bad.
But then a whole bunch of
Jeremy Irons was having a good time.
a whole bunch of like goblins start rushing out towards the towards Leo's house, and one of them just picks up one of the characters just picks up a guitar and goes, to goblin friends, please hear my song," and he gets shot with arrows.
Kuzu closes his eyes for a second, breathing in deeply. Listen, Leo, there's no way he's going to try anything. He's scared out of his mind right now.
Duke was scared. Didn't stop him from trying to kill us. It's probably worse that he's scared.
And we're just
You'll-
going to say this all in front of TJ now.
He looks up the hallway towards the bedroom, and I'm starting to not like the look in his eyes again.
In fact, I'm wondering why the fuck we left him in the room alone in the first fucking place.
He might look at all my otter porn, and that is for me and the Chula.
He just
Leo
walks in.
starts.
Yeah, he just walks into the room and just like cleanse on the computer, and this is fucking awesome. This is awesome, man. Just got his dick in his hand.
He just like locks the computer real quick and then just asks you a random question. Who's the president of Echo?
Yeah, they close the door and they're like, oh no, we need to go check on him. They throw the door open. It's just Clint and Leo just in front of the computer, just masturbating, just really hard.
See,
Clint's
they
like-
finally learned something that could connect them.
Yeah, Clint just turns all of a sudden. He's like, I'm playing Minecraft.
And then you just close the door and be like, they're bonding.
Leo starts to show his teeth. I reach out and rest a paw on the wolf's arm again, feeling the tensing of his muscles underneath the fur.
Hey, don't worry about it. Just because your mortal enemy wrecked out of his mind, broke into your house, and is now squatting in your bed, why would you be concerned by that?
But he jerks his arm away from me and suddenly turns on me.
Why the hell are you on his side with this shit? You were with that fucking bear. You know what these crazies are doing.
I wince internally at being reminded of the incident, but I try again, reaching out.
Yeah, but Clint isn't Brian. He doesn't have any bondage tables. You know what? And you know he was pushed around by that bear too. Although I do think he kind of lacked it. I mean, he was going back frequently.
Leo pulls his arm further away from me. He's looking back and forth between me and Kudzu again.
What is this? You're both acting like I'm the crazy one. Are you two fucking behind my back?
Wolf pulls.
Not yet.
The wolf pushes his chair back from the table.
I heard you whispering shit in the hallway. You've been saying things behind my back.
Leo narrows his eyes at Kudzu.
Oh, dude, shit.
Why don't you keep eating, Carl?
Leo shifts his gaze towards the bedroom again before abruptly standing up.
I'm gonna check on him.
Leo. Sit, boy. Sit. Bad doggos.
I start to stand up as well, but Kudzu is one step ahead of me. He moves to intercept the wolf, both hands out. Come on, Leo. He doesn't get to finish. Instead, the wolf goes straight into him, grabbing one of his arms and punching at his face. Kudzu sees it coming and is able to duck, but he's not quite fast enough. Leo's knuckles glance off the raccoon's muzzle, knocking his head around. Leo keeps a hold on the arm and swings Kudzu around, away from the hallway and back into the kitchen. Kudzu takes the fall rather well, going into a sort of roll. He does come up banging against Carl's chair, but he does come up on one knee, panting and staring up at the Leo. His nose is bleeding.
What the fuck?
I'm standing before I know it and moving around the table to stand at Kudzu's side. I look over at him, trying to see if Leo had done him any serious damage before I look back at the wolf.
What are you doing? Because I, Chase, do not know what a fisticuffs are.
Carl clumsily tries to help the raccoon up, his ears flat against his head. Leo breathes heavily, staring down at Kudzu before his eyes flick to me.
Get away from him.
He's my otter. What?
Yeah, he's my otter, but get away from him.
This time there's a growling and quality in his voice, and I see his finger drift towards his belt. I do move away from Kudzu, but only just. I don't want either of us getting shot. Leo turns his attention to Kudzu.
You out.
Kuzu stares up the wolf for only a moment before getting briskly to his feet. His breathing is so erratic, I wonder if he's going to have a panic attack. He gives me a single glance before hurrying out of the kitchen. I want to stop him, to get in his way. To get in his way like he did Leo's, but look on Leo's face right now has me frozen. I can't do or say anything as I watch the raccoon's tail disappear. I hear the door swing open, then bang shut. I look back and almost jump to see Leo's eyes are still on me, studying me. He stares a while longer before turning away and stomping loudly down the hall. Carl is frozen next to me, and TJ just sits there, his eyes down on his plate, food untouched. Still numb, I have to force myself to walk forward, following Leo, terrified of what is about to happen.
Leo, wait!
My voice is too quiet, too soft for the wolf to even hear me. The door ahead of me swings open. There's a moment of silence, then Leo curses loudly, and I run to the door frame, looking inside, not sure what I'm about to find. What I find is nothing. No one's inside. The covers of the bed are thrown back, the window wide open.
And the computer is gone. So is the lamp. So is the bed.
And the tissues.
He stole everything. He even took the last can of Leo hash.
He even stole Leo's hand lotion.
Well, with all that Otterborn he's taken, he's going to need it. Can't let it get dry.
All right, Leo, go for it.
See? I told you!
Leo's voice goes from an almost scream to a hushed whisper as he moves toward the window, looking out into the night. He slides the window shut, then locks it.
This is exactly what I was worried about.
What? That the guy would peacefully leave and do no damage and hurt no one? Yeah, that's totally what I think you thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he thought Clint was going to burn his place down or get it high on drugs or some shit.
Inside, I'm relieved more than
Steal
anything.
the tuna.
Inside, I'm relieved more than anything. For some reason, I'm positive that Clint was still here, or if Leo had caught him in the act of trying to escape. I don't doubt he would have tried to shoot him.
That stupid fucking raccoon, thinking he knew what was best.
Because
Leo-
only I, head wolf, know.
Leo continues to peer out the window, his ears perked up.
I know what the hell's best for us. Thinks he can just come in and tell everyone what to do. See what happens?
I start to move back into the hallway, towards the kitchen, but Leo suddenly whirls around on me. His frown turns into a sort of uncertain smile.
Hey, Walter, are you okay?
I don't say anything, I just stare at him.
Walter?
Vaguely, I can hear Carl clopping around uncertainly in the hallway. Probably too afraid to get close.
Carl's clopping. He's a My Little Pony fan.
I try to speak, then wet my lips.
Yeah?
Leo extends a paw.
Come here. Did I scare you?
I fidget with my paws.
No, I chase him a big brave otter. I'm a big brave otter. You didn't scare me.
Well, come on then.
Slowly, I move into the wolf's room. Despite my dragging feet, my mind is racing, trying to decide what the hell is going on, what the hell I'm going to do. Leo's lost it, there's no question about that. It's something that I've sort of known for the past day, ever since we found him in Duke's basement. And now it's getting worse, a lot worse. Still, continue to move towards him like I'm in some kind of dream. Soon he's got me wrapped up in his arms, and despite the warmth, despite the strength I feel in them, I don't feel good about it at all. I'm just scared.
Chula.
He breathes into my ear, sending shivers down my spine.
I told you, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you safe. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
He starts rocking me back and forth, shifting us around on his feet like we're doing some kind of half dance at prom. He's moved us around so that I'm looking at the door, and I can see Carl's horns, his eyes fearfully peering into the room.
But, Raccoon, he wasn't good for you.
Good for me? He helped me when you were unable to in my actual most hour of need.
Leo gives me a squeeze that almost knocks the air from my lungs and cuts me off.
Maybe. Maybe not. I could see him acting strange. Kind of like the others.
Dolph continues to rock us back and forth as I continue to look over Leo's shoulders, seeing in Carl's eyes that this is definitely fucked up. I don't say anything else to Leo, worried about how he might take it if I keep trying to convince him that Gudzu is only trying to help us.
I'm going to
You know, my theory is that Kudzu is falling under the hum, but like what happens to him is that it makes him indecisive and kind of cowardly, which is his worst fear because that's how his ex died. But that's just, my theory. A game theory.
Game.
Alright, Leo, go
All
for
right,
it.
Leo.
I'm going to get you all out of here. Like I should have done from the beginning. Okay?
He gives me a little shake when I'm silent a little too long.
Okay. What's your brilliant plan, Wolfie boy? Come on. Speak. Come on, boy. Use your words.
Okay.
And he keeps rocking me like that for what seems like hours. And when we make another revolution, I can see that Carl's not there anymore. Then I hear something. Soft at first, then louder and louder. Leo stops dancing with me.
It was singing. It was a song. It started in low, and then it started to grow.
I can make out a rhythmic, dull metallic sound accompanied by a horn. Train? TJ and Carl are standing at the back door, staring out into the night. Leo pushes past them, ears perked as he tries to see through the darkness. The train sounds incredibly close, almost like it's only a few feet away.
Should we go check it out, like Clint said?
Leo pauses, his nose twitching before he waves his paw at us.
You guys stay here. I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna shoot that fucking train.
The train wants to steal my chula.
Yeah, the train
Leo!
wants to steal the chula. He's gonna shoot it dead.
And just like that, the wolf disappears into the night, leaving us behind. I stare out into the night.
So, like, I guess Clint wasn't shooting us after all, huh? Yeah, I guess. For once, he said something truthful. I mean,
Fine.
All I can make out right now, though, is Kudzu. Did he hear the train right now? Was he on his way over? Was he on his way over there? I look to my right, towards Kudzu's house, only a few hundred feet away. Quietly, I start stepping outside.
Come on. There we go. Chase? Chase!
Carl's voice behind me is timid, scared. I look back at him, able to make out the whites of his eyes in the darkness. TJ lurks behind him, staring at me as well. Though staring at me as well, though far more stoically.
I'll be right back. I just need to check on Kudzu because he's totally hot boyfriend material and can't have him, disappearing into the night.
Everything that Kudzu had done for me up to this point, saving me multiple times, making sure I was okay, nursing me back to health. Hell, even helping with my project before all this shit went down. I'm not going to abandon him. Just like with Leo when he was imprisoned by Duke. I feel like it's my responsibility, only this time the urge is even stronger. I have to make sure Kudzu makes it out of here like the rest of us. Though Carl though doesn't look so enthusiastic about that.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, dude. Like you saw Leo, he really wants your booty and is apparently willing to murder for it now. So we should probably not anger him.
He's fucking cuckoo. Fiend?
He's cuckoo for chase pups. Alright. Carl looks over my shoulder, and I do the same, worried. And I do the same, worried that maybe the wolf was coming back. But all I see is darkness.
Because this is Chase's goth era. All I see is darkness.
All I ever see is darkness. Oh, my hood's down. I realize that Carl is just as afraid of the wolf as I am right now.
I swear, I'm only going to be away a few minutes. Unless he wants to get frisky. If Leo asks, tell him, I don't know, tell him I needed some air out
Right.
in the monster-filled wilderness
Yeah.
that we know very little about.
And I flew away. Yeah, sure.
That, well, like, dude.
I didn't wait for Carl to finish his sentence. My eyes slowly adjust, but it's too dark to really see anything more than 5 feet. The amount of stars up ahead is almost dazzling, but it's not enough light to help me see. In fact,
Well, yeah, you just need to, get out your sextant and, navigate by starlight.
In fact-
For the next door neighbor that's like only feet away.
In fact, it's almost disorienting. The way the bright powder look of the sky clashes with the black horizon of the mountains. Focusing on it too much makes my stomach turn. I turn my eyes down, trying to focus on the barely visible ground. Whack! Until my face slams right into a big, hard,
Go ahead.
big, hard, and full of twigs. And right until my face slams into something big, hard, and full of twigs.
So now we know exactly what happened. Chase was basically staring straight up into the sky, and then he's like, "Oh, that's disorienting." So he stared straight at the ground between his legs, and then he ran into something.
He just walks. He doesn't look where he's going. He just walks into things.
He's kind of looking in real life the way that someone we know was playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
No, I just like that Chase can get lost between like these two small houses. And it's just like, nope, I'm the journalist daughter. I can't to smell my way over to the story. Jesus freaking Christ! God damn it!
I shout whisper into my paws, covering my nose, afraid for a second that maybe it ran one of my eyes through.
Pretty sure you would feel that.
A quick but shaky examination with my fingers puts my fear at ease, though.
As I poke
Now
my
I
own
feel
eyes
like
out.
now I feel like my muzzle has gone flat into my face.
How fast was
That
he
jolt.
going?
He was just sprinting as fast as he could. That jolt had me feeling all the aches of my past incidents with cars.
You run over and then getting thrown into a lake.
I stand there in the dark for a moment, gathering my senses. It's almost completely silent now. Yeah, all the animals that were watching you are currently like have their paws over their mouths, trying not to laugh at
Yeah,
you.
you fucking idiot. Yeah,
It's almost completely silent now. The train, if it was a train, has passed us by at this point. The metallic clanks and rushing sound is far behind me. Standing in the silence, though, is starting to give me second thoughts. I'm pretty sure there aren't any trees between Leo and Kudzu's house.
like how does someone get this disoriented, even with a hum? This is like
Did I?
you know, like where his house is. Like you walk out the door and be like, oh, his house
Yeah,
is like
especially because you should have a light on by now.
yeah.
Get in there.
It's like his house is 90 degrees this way. I'm gonna turn my body and walk forward. How do you go into the woods?
Did I get off track somehow? Something cracks a little ways ahead of me, and I freeze up, my ears twitching. I listen hard, trying to hear anything above the crickets. Okay. Yeah, this was really fucking stupid. I remember that I'm not all that far away from Leo's house and look back at the yellow squares of windows in the distance. I should probably go back to reorient myself and try to get to Kudzu's house again. As I'm turning around, though, another crack from behind me, followed by a muffled voice. Shit.
Shit.
I freeze at the voice. I open my mouth and try and quietly call out, but stop myself. I can't be sure, but it sounded like Kudzu, albeit muffled and low-pitched.
Did
I
Chase
decided-
actually learn a lesson? Wait.
He's actually learning from his mistakes? Wow, that doesn't sound like I want old Chase back. I want dumb Chase back.
I decide to wait a while longer, with one foot pointed out towards Leo's house. And then, this time the sound is right. This time the sound is right next to me, and I jump in the air.
That's funny. We hear the word right just echo all around your room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
I make a run for the house and immediately trip over several rocks, going face first into the ground. I'm scrambling at the ground with my paws and feet when I hear the voice again. Whoa, jeez. I slump back to the ground in relief.
Oh my god, Kudzu. What the hell are you doing? Being on your own property and a raccoon who could probably see just fine in this darkness.
I feel the raccoon's paws feel over me, then pull me back to my feet. I heard the train, then I saw someone. Are you okay? From the faint light of the stars, I can make out Kudzu's ears and the tip of his muzzle. My eyes have adjusted to the point where I can even see the mask in his fur.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of like, you know, those games where they have like an image and they tell you to like lower the brightness down to the point where you can just barely see it. Like Chase was like playing that game in real life, but he lowered the brightness all the way down to like 0. And he's like, I can't see. What's wrong?
See,
Yeah.
I cheat. I put them all the way at the top.
It's so like in Project Zomboid, the newest patch that they have, Build 42, makes it to where dark is dark. When it is nighttime, if you don't have a light source, it's basically just a black screen.
Oh, fuck.
Unless you have something that lets you see at night or something. So, so it's like if you're like in the middle of the night when you're trying to sneak around and stuff, you are literally just looking at a black screen, listening for shit around you. It's great.
Sounds awful. That game freaked me the fuck out. It's like, oh, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. But like, here's like actual zombies. It's like, I live alone. So it's like, I'm scared.
You know what's even better?
Penis.
They made it even harder to fight zombies now.
Oh, great.
Your character
'Cause it wasn't
killing
hard enough.
like your character grabbing a club and like killing a zombie gets muscle sprains.
What?
now. So like, and that just causes him to gas out even faster. So it's like maybe you should fight like maybe 5 zombies before you need to just go rest for a while.
Wow.
Probably don't fight any zombies if you can.
It's like a pixelated like Elden Ring.
It's like, the whole thing is you're an ordinary person and they're fucking zombies. And one bite is basically death. Maybe you shouldn't fight them.
Yeah.
Just maybe. All right, Chase, go for it.
I wanted to come get you in case we were going to try to hop the train.
I look over my shoulder, trying to listen for the train again. A little late for that, eh?
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to leave you behind.
Ah. I rub my face where I hit the branch.
Listen, I don't know what's going on with Leo, but maybe we could go back and try to talk.
Kudzu
Because
shakes his
talking
head.
is definitely something that he was in the mood to do.
Yeah, because talking's worked so far.
Kudzu shakes his head. No, I don't think he's going to listen. As much as I hate to admit it, Kudzu's probably right.
Well, I'm not going to leave you out here either. Well, no, I'm not going to sort of leave you after everything we went through. I kind of barely said it.
I see a glint of
Behold my
white.
master thespianism.
I see a glint of white as Kudzu's teeth give me a small smile. Well, thanks, man. But really, you should probably get back before he. At that moment, I realized something.
Wait, what were you doing out here? You said you saw someone?
Kudzu
Other than me?
Kudzu shifts slightly, from one foot to the other. I thought they did, at least.
Like someone from the town, or
I think it was your friend.
what?
Which one?
The folks. Jenna?
Okay, how would Kuzu know who Jenna is? Because they have definitely not met in
He's-
any point of the story.
I mean, like, Leo's probably shown him pictures before.
I guess, yeah.
that
He's
would
like-
be a
he's
real
like-
thing to do.
He's
They're
probably
like,
just
"This
like,
is the
look, these are all
She-devil
my
that broke
friends.
me up with my honor.
These are all my friends. This is the woman who keeps showing me up and kicking my ass all the time.
Yeah, that does sound like a Leo thing to do. Like he would like invite you into his house and show you like his photo album. Like these are all my friends. I'm so proud of them. Here's DJ. Here's Flynn. He's kind of an asshole, but I still like him. Here's Jenna who kicks my ass in every single sport that we ever play. Here's Jace, my beautiful boyfriend. I love my little Jossie. And then here's me, and here's Carl, who's always high.
I wonder if Leo just like has a thing for Jenna like stepping on his throat all the time. But who knows? My eyes go wide as I turn back to the darkness, squinting.
Well, the reverse of the Jenna Leo thing. That's definitely true.
She loves teasing him and beating him and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, he thinks he's
Where
big.
did you see her?
Leo thinks he's big man in charge. So, and Jenna clearly is not into being told what to do.
Yeah, she just kind of owns him.
Yeah.
Where? Where did you see her?
Kudzu
Southwest
turns.
Adventures. Clearly the place I would have seen her.
Kudzu turns to look at me and takes a few steps forward. Well, I was going back to my trailer. After the whole thing with Leo, then this fox girl just kind of jumped up from the side of my house.
Where did she go?
My heart is still hammering my chest right now as I strain to see her. Jen has been on my mind since the very beginning, and her absence has only become more prominent after finding the others.
Even though we've had access to his internal monologue the entire time, and he's not thought about her once.
Well, I think she went off in that direction. Kudzu points off into the darkness. I could hear her running off, but then the footsteps stopped. So I thought she might have stopped and hid somewhere.
Well, come on then. I, Chase, just proved what a great navigator I am under these conditions, so I can also lead a search and rescue team.
Yeah, follow me. Oh,
Right into a tree.
all right, all right. All right, let's go. Oh, God. Fucking. I motioned Kudzu forward and stepped towards the blackness of the wilderness. Hold on, I was gonna grab a flashlight. There's no way we're finding anything out here at this time of night.
A flashlight? What is that? That's a toy that Leo said I needed to get.
No, no, no. A flashlight, not a fleshlight.
Oh.
Also, isn't that the toy
Chase,
you were
I
going?
wouldn't have thought of grabbing one of those before setting out into extreme darkness.
No, 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 no. I think Leo said that he wanted you to get that for him as a birthday present. I think he was going to get you something else. Bad lizard or awful dragon.
It's in this universe. It's called Good Dragon.
It's called Good Dragon.
Yeah, apparently Carl orders from it quite often.
Oh, nice. I go for a chase.
You go get him. I'll wait. Because again, us splitting up in extreme darkness and possibly monster-filled, unmarked rural area with no visibility. Yeah, I'll just stand around here. Do 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 do.
Yep, I'll just stand right here, completely flat-footed, with a monster that can essentially take a car filled with everybody, including me, and essentially chuck it across the entire city. Yep, sounds like a great idea.
Yep. And just when we thought Chase was learning.
Of course,
Damn.
I'm terrified of being left alone, but I'm also
As you
terrified of
should be.
Jenna. But I'm also terrified of Jenna running away if I don't keep watch. I'm getting the feeling that she might be under the same influence that Carl or TJ had been earlier. You sure?
Yeah, I want to stay here in case she comes out. Because, we have to congratulate her if she found a new girlfriend.
I wave him away. All right, but yell if something happens, all right?
Okay.
And then Chase goes, "Ah! A cricket chirped."
What happened? I breathed. The air smelled a little weird. Oh, sorry. I just took a piss.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, don't worry. That'll move the plot yet again.
Kudzu goes in and comes out within less than a minute, though it feels way longer than that. While he was gone, I risked a few loud whispers of Jenna's name, but didn't get any response. Pretty soon, a beam of light is sweeping the dirt, sagebrush, and cacti as we slowly make our way in the direction Jenna had run. Just imagine if he walked into a cactus.
Ooh.
Apparently, it was through the backyard and out towards the desert. I'm worried that maybe she didn't stop running. Why was she running?
Yeah, what's chasing her?
Chase. But
Well, he wishes Chase would chase her.
probably does.
Did she say anything? Like about her inner demons and, what they might be? Maybe a brother that committed suicide that she feels guilty about?
Abusive father.
I whisper softly to Kudzu as I follow along with him, one hand on his shoulder, despite the fact that we are basically shining a huge-ass flashlight that basically gives our position away entirely to everybody within the next 10 miles or more if they're elevated. So there's no
Well,
reason to be
the
whispering.
monster doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But how do we know it can't see?
Yeah, it's like Bodhi from One Piece. He's always
I
making
mean-
jokes about I don't have, because he's a skeleton. He's a living skeleton.
Mm.
So it's just like, oh no, my eyes! I can't possibly look. Oh wait, I don't have eyes. Ha ha.
I'm just imagining the monster just it's just Skeletor now.
Remember, if it's pitch black and you have a flashlight, there's no need to whisper. Until we meet again!
No, just looked up. No, just looked up to me and took off. Looked terrified of something. I frowned, my paw tightening a bit on the raccoon's shoulder.
Maybe it's just because she doesn't know you, right? Maybe she was just heading to Leo's place?
Maybe. I tried to focus on the sea of pale glow in front of me. The bright, cold light of the flashlight sucking the color out of the desert. The grays and whites all sort of blend together after a while, and the swinging motion of the beam starts to lull me into a weird hypnotic state. It's at that moment that I catch movement out of the corner of my eye on the right, where the light isn't currently pointed. I hear the sound of shifting dirt and gravel, immediately followed by a bizarre, high-pitched snarl that makes me gasp in horror. I actually even piss myself a little as I see the glint of white teeth. Kuzu tries to swing the
Can't
beam.
go too long without that word just being in the script.
Kuzu
It
tries
just
to
has
swing.
to be there.
Kuzu tries to swing the beam back in the direction that the sound, and at the same time I try to pull him back with a paw on his shoulder.
It's kind of funny. It's like Chase just has like this piss fetish or something because all he ever thinks about is piss.
No, I think it's more the writer had a piss fetish.
Whatever it is hits Kuzu hard, knocking him back and sending me stumbling away to land on my ass.
Because it also shows up in Arches in a big way, too.
No, just piss,
The
piss, piss,
sequel.
piss, piss.
The flashlight rolls away from the raccoon's paw and shines into my face, briefly blinding me. I can sense a loud, growling commotion in front of me, along with the sound of Kuzu grunting. Numbly, I reach out and snatch up the flashlight, then turn it on the sounds. First I see Jenna, her ears back, her teeth bared, swinging her paws at the crumpled heap on the ground. That heap is Kuzu. He's got his arms up in self-defense, snarling back, his eyes wide.
Yeah, Jenna's got like this violent streak where she's just ready to throw hands anytime. Like she did it to Carl, and now she's doing it to Kudzu. She just wants
Well,
to
you
fight.
know, she was living on the rough street.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it makes
you have
sense.
to learn how to do that.
Yeah, you learn how to throw hands pretty quick when you have to.
Yeah,
Jenna,
Just like
that's
that, the
my
snow.
man. You don't get to do that.
wait, no, actually, I like the way you said that. It's almost like you were just like, Jenna, kind of like, again, come on, girl.
You're
I
beating
mean, we've
people
all
up again.
hallucinated tonight. I mean, come on.
instead
Get
of
over it.
That's
instead of like,
that's
Jenna,
not
no,
Leo.
it's more like, Jenna, fucking up someone again. Damn, girl.
That's not Leo. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Just like that, the snarl drops from her face and her eyes snap up to mine.
Chase?
But then the position is suddenly reversed as Kudzu grabs the fox by the wrist and practically barrel rolls. Now Kudzu sits on her back as he keeps a hold of her wrist. Wait! Stop! I rush over to them,
Okay,
grabbing...
sorry. Sorry, it wasn't loading.
Okay, let's go back.
Are you watching a stream?
No, just my computer's a potato.
Maybe you need to
You
upgrade
know,
to a
this
toaster.
incredibly intense graphic.
Wait, stop! I rush over to them, grabbing Kudzu's upper arm and trying to pull his paw away from Jenna.
It's okay. She's good. She recognizes me.
Kudzu
I
only
think
has
maybe. Or, ooh, of course, if she does recognize me, she may want to kill me even more for ghosting her all week.
Kudzu,
Yeah, she just turns around and is like, bitch!
Kudzu only hesitates for a moment before scrambling off the fox and backing away, breathing hard. Jenna quickly sits up, absent-mindedly brushing off her shirts, as she looks up at me.
Oh, my God. Chase?
She says it in a hushed whisper, putting a paw up to her mouth.
Jenna, are you okay? You silly girl.
I reach down to help her up, and she immediately goes in to hug me. I stand there awkwardly for a moment as she buries her face into my shoulder, gasping for breath. She evidently likes armpits. I'm not sure.
She
I'm not
likes the
sure if
musk.
she's crying or not.
She's all about the musk, but the musk, but the musk.
All she does want Chase. Are you okay?
I ask again, patting her back awkwardly.
Sorry. I'm fine.
Jenna steps back and wipes under her eye with the back of her paw.
I didn't know where any of you were.
So I had to check Leo's bedroom because I knew that you'd be there, Chase.
Yeah, it's just like she looks in the window and Leo just turns and shoots her in the head just immediately.
He's
He's-
mine.
Come on.
Where were you?
Jenna
Because
looks
let
all
us
right.
do all the questions now in the monster area, not try to get, indoors as fast as possible.
Jenna looks all right for the most part, except for a bunch of dirt on her clothes and in her fur. But then, I don't know if that's from before or after she was wrestling with Kudzu.
I don't know. I was out in the desert and
And she was on a horse with no name. It's good to get out of the rain.
It's still dark, obviously, but I can make out the frown on her face as she seems to struggle for words. Finally, Kudzu steps in. Hey, let's get to my trailer. We can talk it out in there, alright? Jenna silently nods, then seems to really focus on Kudzu.
wait, who are you?
I step in for the raccoon.
Damn it, Jenna, just stop asking questions and trust the stranger you've never seen before with your life. Come on. This is
You know.
Kudzu. He's a friend. He saved me a bunch of times.
That seems to be good enough for Jenna. With that out of the way, we all head back towards the trailer.